Chapter 677, Engagement Scene, Shining Brightly. _3. The male relatives were seated on the left, while the female relatives were arranged on the right. As soon as this was arranged, Shengguan Dehui arrived with Ni Tsuehua. Madame Shengguan immediately greeted them. Dehui, Dia, what do you think of the arrangements here? Aunt, you arranged it very well. Thank you for your hard work, Ni Tsuehua replied. No trouble at all, no trouble at all. Madame Shengguan looked towards the others behind her. Everyone, please come in and take a seat. Although Ni Tsuehua didn't have many relatives in Beijing, quite a few people, both young and old, did come. The elders included Grandma Lu, Old Madame Mo, and Old Master Mo Li Ronghua and his two siblings, the three-member Yang Guobao family, Mo Qishan and Wu Daming, Ni Yang and little Ni Yun, and Ni Chengue among others were present. The village chief, representing the entire population of Jinghua village, was also present. Madame Shengguan immediately invited everyone inside. Shengguan Furong watched the crowd entering with a look of disdain on her face. The Mo and Yang families were alright since they were also wealthy families in Beijing. But what about the rest of these people? Such people were also allowed to enter the door of the Shengguan residence. Source, Web Novel. Com, updated on Omicron New Omicron. Madame Shengguan must have been out of her mind. Being so enthusiastic with these people. Were they worthy? After everyone entered, it didn't take long for the rest of the guests to arrive as well. Shengguan Dehui and Ni Tsuehua stood at the door greeting guests and handing out candies. Shengguan Furong was also warmly welcoming guests on the other side, a stark contrast to her behavior just a while ago. The elitist circle was aware that Shengguan Dehui had married a rural woman. So, many people attended the engagement ceremony with the mentality of enjoying the drama. Initially, they thought they'd see a crude village woman. But surprisingly, the bride-to-be was so beautiful. Ni Tsuehua, tall with an enviable figure, dressed in a traditional Chinese dress that reached the ground, light makeup on her face, refined and elegant, appeared even more striking than Shengguan Furong, the legitimate heiress. Where was this village girl they were expecting? Dehui, congratulations. I wish you a harmonious life. Thank you. Having thanked them, Shengguan Dehui turned to Ni Tsuehua. Dia, this is my colleague, Professor Han. Hello Professor Han. With Ni Tsuehua's polite demeanor, nobody could pick out any flaws, leaving everyone with a good impression of her. Shengguan Furong looked at Ni Tsuehua, squinting her eyes without a word. To overshadow Ni Tsuehua, she had purposely worn a dress even brighter than Nis. Still, Tsuehua managed to steal the limelight. She's such a cunning woman. Ni Tsuehua was wearing high heels today. Taking advantage of a quiet moment, Shengguan Dehui whispered, Dia, do your feet hurt? Should we get a flat pair for you to change into? No need, Ni Tsuehua shook her head, I'm fine. In the blink of an eye, it was almost 11 o'clock, and most of the guests had arrived. Shengguan Furong, holding a wine glass, stood around chatting with a bunch of wealthy matrons. One of them said, Furong, I heard your future sister-in-law is a rural woman, is that true? There was some hint of provocation in the question. A distinguished family marrying a village woman, that was quite novel. A rare occurrence in a century indeed. Shengguan Furong nodded, it's true. Don't let her good looks fool you, she doesn't know a single letter. She's just good at seducing men. Otherwise, how would my brother fall for her? I think she's quite pretty. And her daughter Ni Yang is also good-looking. Shengguan Furong snorted, her daughter isn't any better. Both mother and daughter are vixens. Furong, from what I can see, it seems like you really don't like them, do you? Jia Zhenjin asked. Shengguan Furong replied, I've opposed this marriage from the start, but unfortunately, no one in my family listens to me. Would you like to see her make a fool of herself? Zhenjin playfully swirled her glass. What do you mean? Shengguan Furong asked eagerly. If she could see Ni Tsuihua humiliated in front of everyone at the wedding, it would definitely be amusing. A glint flashed in Shengguan Furong's eyes. Jia Zhenjun gave a mysterious smile, just watch and see. After saying this, she carried her wine glass and headed towards Ni Tsuihua. Ni Tsuihua was in conversation with Zhao Yeshu, Madame Shengguan's sister-in-law. Zhao Shiya, being highly educated, had thought she wouldn't have much in common with Ni Tsuihua. However, surprisingly Ni Tsuihua was just as knowledgeable. Regardless of the topic, Ni Tsuihua always contributed to the conversation. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know to report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 678, Shining Brightly at the Engagement Scene. _4. This surprised her a bit. After all, the person standing in front of her was just a village woman. That's your daughter, isn't it? She's so pretty. The young man with her looks a bit familiar. Zhao Yeshu pointed at Ni Yang. Just then, Jia Zhenjun, holding a glass of red wine, barged into her. Smack! The red wine splashed directly onto Ni Tsuihua. Jia Zhenjun immediately apologized, sorry, are you okay? I didn't do it on purpose. Please forgive me. She quickly fired off a string of fluent English. Jia Zhenjun's intent was to embarrass Ni Tsuihua. How could she embarrass Ni Tsuihua if she used the normal language? It was somewhat quiet around them as everyone looked in their direction. Shengguan Furong looked over and said to the wealthy ladies beside her, Zhenjun really knows how to handle things. Who in the elite circle doesn't know English? If Ni Tsuihua doesn't, source, web novel. Updated on Omicron New Zero, where would it leave Madame Shengguan's face? It's about time Madame Shengguan learned what is the meaning of being well-matched in social and economic status. If it had been Lin Fong today, she would have handled it calmly, never letting the Shengguan family lose face. As for Ni Tsuihua, she can only make a fool of herself. Ni Tsuihua didn't expect someone to suddenly bump into her, and even less did she expect the person would speak in English. She was stunned for a moment, then she smiled and said, no problem, don't worry about it. She replied in fluent English as well. At this time, Ni Tsuihua was extremely thankful that she and Ni Yang had taken a trip abroad and learned English afterwards, otherwise, she would have been embarrassed today. Jia Zhenjun was dumbfounded. Shengguan Furong was shocked, so was Zhao Yeshu. No one expected Ni Tsuihua to speak English. Wasn't Ni Tsuihua illiterate, having never even finished primary school? How would an illiterate woman know how to speak English? Not only did Ni Tsuihua not make a fool of herself, but she also spectacularly turned the tables. Shengguan Dehui came over from the other side. Dia, are you alright? Do you want to change your clothes? He had prepared a backup dress in case of emergencies. Okay. Ni Tsuihua nodded, and then turned to Jia Zhenjun, ma'am, the floor is slippery. Please be careful. Slippery? The floor is covered in a thick red carpet, how could it be slippery? Her words were a warning as well as a reminder. As the guest of honor today, if Ni Tsuihua had been deliberately bumped into and didn't retaliate, what would the other guests think? Also, since we are Chinese, I believe we should speak in Chinese. She then smoothly switched back to Mandarin. As soon as she finished, the looks of the others who heard her words instantly changed when they looked at Jia Zhenjun. Pretending to accidentally bump into Ni Tsuihua, taking advantage of the opportunity to splash wine onto her, purposely speaking English, tsk. It's clear that Jia Zhenjun harbored ill intentions. No doubt, Ni Tsuihua's retaliation was exquisite. Shengguan Furong was grinding her teeth in anger. She had underestimated Ni Tsuihua. Jia Zhenjun's face had turned various colors, it was quite a sight. Sorry. Ni Tsuihua didn't say anything else, she turned and went to change her clothes with Shengguan Dehui. Jia Zhenjin ran to Shengguan Furong's side, frowning. "Furong, didn't you say that Daya was just an illiterate village woman?" She had been positive that Ni Tsuehua was a village woman and found the courage to tease her. If she had known that Ni Tsuehua was so competent and could even speak English, she would not have gone looking for trouble even if she was paid. She's now lost face inside and out. Shengguan Furong was also frustrated. "I don't know either. I asked my mother before, and she said that Daya didn't go to primary school. How did Ni Tsuehua suddenly learn to speak English?" "Zhenjin, don't be upset. It's my fault," Shengguan Furong followed. "By the way, I specially invited Mr. Li Long to be a guest today, and I'll introduce you to him later." "Who's Li Long?" Jia Zhenjin was somewhat puzzled. Zhao Yiyun on the side gasped in surprise. Could it be Mr. Abner's assistant, Li Long? "Yes." Shengguan Furong nodded. Who doesn't know about Mr. Abner? This man from F country is extremely proud and never associates with Chinese. No one knew how Shengguan Furong befriended his assistant. "My gosh. Furong, you're too amazing. Furong, don't play favorites. I also want to meet Mr. Abner. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know to report so we can fix it as soon as possible." Chapter 679, Engagement Scene, Shining Brightly. _5. At that moment, Jia Zhenjin's anger was completely dispersed by Mr. Abner. She thought about having Shengguan Furong introduce her to Li Long. At this moment, Shengguan Dehui brought Ni Tsuehua to the fitting room. "You go in and change. I'll wait for you outside," he said. "All right," Ni Tsuehua nodded. The spare dress was identical to what Ni Tsuehua was wearing, with a long zipper at the back. At home, it was Ni Yang who had helped her zip it up, but now, alone, she couldn't manage, so she opened the door to ask for Shengguan Dehui's help. She opened the door slightly. "Can you come in and help me zip up?" Shengguan Dehui was a bit taken aback at first, then said, "All right." Upon entering, Shengguan Dehui immediately locked the door behind him. Zip, the zipper was pulled to the top. Ni Tsuehua turned, opened the door. "Let's go. We should head out." At that moment, Shengguan Dehui leaned against the door, trapping Ni Tsuehua between the door and him, looking down to her with a dominating vibe. For a moment, Ni Tsuehua felt as if she'd traveled back more than 20 years ago. Source, web novel. Com, updated on N0New0. Shengguan Dehui's gaze on her was the same predatory look he had given her the first time they met. Just as Ni Tsuehua was about to say something, Shengguan Dehui leaned in for a kiss. He had wanted to do this for a long time. But he had been afraid of scaring her off, just as he had all those years ago. Today, he had finally done something he had long wanted to, but had not dared to do. "Let's go," Ni Tsuehua opened the door. "Wait a moment," Shengguan Dehui asked hoarsely. "What's the matter?" Ni Tsuehua asked with a puzzled look. Shengguan Dehui picked up a lipstick from the dresser. "Touch up your makeup before we go." Ni Tsuehua blushed as she took the lipstick and sat in front of the mirror. Shengguan Dehui continued, "Are you using the lipstick I handed over today?" "Yes," Ni Tsuehua nodded. "Use it again next time." "Huh?" Ni Tsuehua stared blankly. "Leave me alone." Ni Tsuehua playfully shoved Shengguan Dehui. "Aren't you too old to still be playing games?" Shengguan Dehui squinted. "I was only 21 the year I met you. So this year, I'm at most 22. From the day he met her, his age had become fixed. Ni Tsuehua broke into a light laugh. About 10 minutes later, the two finally left the fitting room. The atmosphere in the main hall was lively. Everyone had heard that Li Long was coming, so many people were now crowded round Shengguan Furong. Everyone wanted to take this opportunity to get to know Li Long. "Furong, "Are you really sure Li Long will come?" someone asked in disbelief. Shangguan Furong smiled, "Why would I lie about something like this? If he's coming, you'll all see him soon." Shangguan Furong had met Li Long at a dinner party. After talking, she found out that Li Long had some connection with the Zhao family. At that time, she had even taken the chance to chat with Mr. Abner. For this engagement ceremony, Shangguan Furong had also sent an invitation to Mr. Abner. But she wasn't sure if Mr. Abner would come, so she hadn't mentioned it to anyone. Mr. Abner was a proud man, who never gave face to the great families. If he didn't come, wouldn't it be a loss of face? But Li Long would certainly come, because she had already arranged it with him. Someone chimed in, "You said Li Long would come, but why hasn't he arrived yet?" "Yeah, why? It's nearly 11 o'clock. Just then, 4 figures walked in from outside. The 2 people in the front were clearly a mother and son. The 2 men trailing them were carrying lavish gifts. Seeing these 4, the bustling hall gradually quieted down. The man in front, is that Mr. Abner? Mr. Abner was different from Mr. Mogg. Mr. Mogg kept a low profile and was mysterious. He never appeared in public, so nobody even knew his age. But Mr. Abner was very high profile. He often attended various cocktail parties. That's why the people in the upper-class circle knew him. Shangguan Furong was ecstatic. She never thought Mr. Abner would come personally to congratulate her. He really did come. "Furong, you're incredible. Not only did you invite Li Long, but also Mr. Abner." Although Mr. Abner's influence was not as powerful as Mr. Mogg's, he was still no one to be taken lightly. Moreover, Mr. Abner was a character that all the major families wanted to draw in, and yet he was subtly won over by Shangguan Furong. Suppressing her inner excitement, Shangguan Furong adjusted her smile, walked up to the group, and said in fluent English, "Mr. Abner, you're here. Please, this way. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know to report so we can fix it as soon as possible." Chapter 680, Engagement Scene, Shining Brightly. _6. English is a universal language, so Mr. Abner shouldn't have trouble understanding it. Mr. Abner smiled at her and said in fluent Chinese, "Is Ni Yang here?" Ni Yang? Wasn't Mr. Abner the one she had invited? Why would he be looking for Ni Yang? Not to mention, how could someone like Ni Yang, a small-town girl, know Mr. Abner? She must be imagining things. Shangguan Furong smiled and said, "Mr. Abner, thank you very much for accepting the invitation to attend my brother's engagement ceremony. Please come in." Mr. Abner's brows wrinkled slightly. "Lady, I think you might be mistaken. I don't know you. I came to find Ni Yang. Is she here?" The next second, Shangguan Furong's confident smile abruptly froze on her face. Embarrassing. So embarrassing. Everyone knew Mr. Abner had been invited by her. Now, Mr. Abner claims he doesn't know her. He even insisted he was here looking for Ni Yang. Source, web novel. Com, updated on Omicron New Zero. Hearing this, people began to whisper amongst themselves. Quickly recovering, Shangguan Furong bit the bullet and said, "Mr. Abner, Ni Yang is my niece. Please come with me." Upon hearing that Ni Yang was her niece, Mr. Abner's attitude improved significantly. "Could you please take me to Ni Yang?" Just then, Ni Yang walked over from the other side. "Mr. Abner. Miss Ni Yang." Mr. Abner immediately approached her. Yang. Georgiana was thrilled to see Ni Yang. She has been wanting to adopt Ni Yang as her goddaughter, but hadn't had the opportunity. Today, however, seems like a good opportunity. Mr. Abner continued, "I heard that today is a joyous day for your mother. Therefore, my mother and I have brought along some modest gifts. We hope you will accept them." The moment he finished speaking, 2 aides beside him offered the pre-prepared gifts. A valuable 1,000-year-old ginseng and precious jewelry were displayed on the red velvet. The people around were stunned. It appears that Mr. Abner has no connection with the Shengguan family. He had legitimately come for Ni Yang's sake. Ni Yang was too amazing. She actually knew Mr. Abner. People could not even get close to Mr. Abner, while Ni Yang even had Mr. Abner bringing her gifts. What a magnificent honor. Shengguan Furong's face turned pale. She was actually outperformed by a small-town girl. Ni Yang took Mr. Abner to Ni Tsuehua and Shengguan Dehui. "This is my uncle, and this is my mother." "Uncle, auntie, I wish you a long and happy life together," Mr. Abner greeted politely. Shengguan Dehui took Mr. Abner's hand. "Thank you." Had already known that Ni Yang was no ordinary person. So when he saw Ni Yang knew Mr. Abner, Shengguan Dehui was not surprised. Then, Ni Yang introduced, "This is my boyfriend, Mo Qishan." Upon seeing Mo Qishan, Mr. Abner's eyes revealed a hint of surprise. Mo Qishan slightly smiled and took the initiative to stretch out his hand toward Mr. Abner. "Mr. Abner, I've heard a lot about you." Mr. Abner glanced around and then revealed a mysterious smile. "It's my pleasure." "It's my pleasure?" Mr. Abner was showing respect to a good-for-nothing? What could this good-for-nothing possibly teach him? But it makes sense when you think about it. After all, Mr. Abner is from F country and isn't acquainted with Chinese customs. He probably didn't know about Mo Qishan's reputation. Unfortunately, this good-for-nothing, instead of being modest, accepted the compliment with a smile. Does he even realize the person standing in front of him is Mr. Abner? A good-for-nothing will always be a good-for-nothing. A worthless thing. Ni Yang must be blind. Being such a beauty, how could she fancy Mo Qishan? Because of Mr. Abner, Ni Tsuehua quickly became the most popular person there, with everyone showing their friendliness. During the meal, Mr. Abner sat with the village chief, Grandma Lu, and the Mo family at the first table on the right side. Guests from the left side kept coming over to toast. The rich dames who were originally hanging around Shengguan Furong also rushed to the right side. Shengguan Furong's face looked quite ugly. Mr. Abner was her guest. How did he end up being Ni Yang's guest? What sort of dishonorable methods did she employ? Sitting next to Ni Yang, Georgiana turned to Ni Tsuehua, who was hoisting her wine glass. "Miss Ni, I really like Yang Yang and we get along quite well. May I adopt her as my goddaughter?" As these words were spoken, several people present were a bit taken aback. Georgiana is adopting Ni Yang as her goddaughter. Wouldn't that make Mr. Abner Ni Yang's brother, and Ni Tsuehua Mr. Abner's godmother? What an honor! There would be a line of people from here to the end of the Yangtze River wanting to become Georgiana's goddaughter. Shengguan Furong felt mixed emotions, and found it hard to swallow back her discomfort. Why on earth did she want to recognize a goddaughter out of the blue? If she wanted to recognize a goddaughter, shouldn't she have chosen her? What qualifications does Ni Yang have to be Georgiana's goddaughter? Shengguan Furong felt like vomiting blood. Ni Tsuehua and Ni Yang exchanged a glance and smiled. "It's Yang Yang's good fortune if you would consider her as your goddaughter." Seeing that there were so many people present, if they denied the request, they would seem ungrateful. Moreover, personal relationships are really important. Many hands make light work after all. Georgiana immediately had her assistant present the prepared sapphire necklace as a token of their newfound bond. F country people adore gems. So, this was an incredibly lavish sapphire necklace. The sapphires shone dazzlingly, as mysterious and alluring as the deep sea. This necklace is a relic from the last century, very valuable. A few people present recognized the origin of the necklace, and the air was filled with gasps. It seems that Georgiana was not joking, she really considered Ni Yang as her goddaughter. Georgiana put the necklace on Ni Yang herself. "It's beautiful." Ni Yang was already beautiful, but wearing the sapphire necklace, she looked even more radiant. Thank you, godmother. Ni Yang politely expressed her thanks. Georgiana extended her arms to hug Ni Tsuehua. You have a wonderful daughter. You flatter us. Who amongst those present was not envious of Ni Tsuehua? People initially thought that Ni Tsuehua, a rural woman, would embarrass herself at the engagement ceremony. Surprisingly, not only did she not embarrass herself, but she also brought great honor to herself. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know to report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 681, All the Stars Surround the Moon, Infinite Scenery _1 The person who felt the most uncomfortable at that moment had to be Shengguan Furong. She had been running around for Shengguan Dihui's engagement, even invitingly long over, only to find out that she had ended up preparing the wedding outfit for Ni Tsuehua and her daughter, Ni Yang. The person who should have been in the limelight was supposed to be her. How did it turn out to be Ni Tsuehua and Ni Yang? How did they even know Mr. Abner? Just two country bumpkins, what gave them the right? The more Shengguan Furong thought about it, the less willing she was to accept it, almost wishing she could tear Ni Quihua's face into pieces. Furong. Zhao Shen gently tugged at her sleeve. What is it? Shengguan Furong turned her head impatiently. Zhao Shen swallowed then said, Shall we also offer a toast to brother and sister-in-law? Shengguan Dihui and Ni Tsuehua were the stars of the evening. All the guests took the initiative to toast to them. It would seem a bit strange if they didn't. Shengguan Furong rolled her eyes at Zhao Shen, sister-in-law? The wedding hasn't even taken place yet, how is she considered a sister-in-law? I said you're stupid, and you really are stupid. Source, web novel. Com, updated on Omicron New, even if they were married, they could still get divorced. Not to mention Shengguan Dihui and Ni Tsuehua were not even married yet. But, Zhao Shen was somewhat troubled, but our mom is watching, and there are so many relatives and friends here, Furong, let's just go over there. There were so many people present, they couldn't possibly embarrass the old Shengguan madam. Shengguan Furong weighed the pros and cons, and finally chose to pick up the wine glass and with Zhao Shen, they went up to Shengguan Dihui and Ni Tsuehua, brother, Dia, Zhao Shen and I toast to you. Zhao Shen stood by holding his glass. Thank you, Furong. Ni Tsuehua raised her cup and clinked it with hers. Shengguan Dihui remained silent as he held little Ni Yun with one arm, taking a sip from his drink. Shengguan Furong subtly bit her lip, knowing that Shengguan Dihui was still upset about the incident last time. But that incident wasn't her fault to begin with. Moreover, old Madame Shengguan had slapped her, and she already apologized to Ni Yang. Now, Shengguan Dihui couldn't even tell right from wrong all for Ni Tsuehua. Does he even deserve to be a brother? Miss Ni, Mr. Shengguan, congratulations. Mr. Abner walked over from the other side with his glass in hand. Mr. Abner. Shengguan Dihui raised his glass to him. Georgia even claimed Ni Yang as her daughter. Mr. Abner giving a toast was trivial. In comparison, Mr. Abner was still a junior in front of Shengguan Dihui. Shengguan Furong squinted her eyes. She, being Shengguan Dihui's sister, would be considered as Mr. Abner's aunt. Being the elder, Mr. Abner should certainly toast to her also. As long as Mr. Abner offered her a toast, at least she could somewhat recover her lost face. Thinking like this, her heart was slightly comforted. Shengguan Furong straightened her back, waiting for Mr. Abner to toast her. However, not only did Mr. Abner not toast her, but he walked away with Shengguan Dihui instead. Apparently, the two had something to discuss. Ni Tsuehua took little Ni Yun from Shengguan Dihui and chatted with Georgia. In a conversation between two men, Shengguan Furong couldn't really have a say. She should find Georgia instead. Georgia was Mr. Abner's mother. If she managed to please Georgia, it was the same as pleasing Mr. Abner. But it seemed that Georgia was already engaged in a conversation with Ni Tsuehua. Shangguan Furong naturally wouldn't stoop so low to initiate a conversation with Ni Tsuehua. Toasting her was already giving her plenty of face. If anything, Ni Tsuehua should be the one coming over with Georgia. She was the only remaining daughter-in-law in the Shangguan family, so Ni Tsuehua should think of a way to please her. Just like Lin Fang trying to please her. Unfortunately, Ni Tsuehua didn't have the slightest comprehension of that. If Ni Tsuehua was willing to bring Georgia over tonight, she would forgive Ni Tsuehua. If Ni Tsuehua wasn't willing to take a hint, she would never forgive Ni Tsuehua in her life. Shangguan Furong squinted her eyes. She had waited for so long, but Ni Tsuehua never took the initiative to please her. Shangguan Furong was so angry that it was making her sick. She left before the engagement banquet was over without uttering a word, leaving Zhao Shen behind to clean up the mess. Old Madame Shangguan looked at Zhao Shen and said apologetically, "Zhao Shen, Furong has always been over-competitive, that must have upset you quite a few times." Zhao Shen responded with a smile, "It's fine. I know Furong is not a bad person. He had grown used to it over the years. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know to report so we can fix it as soon as possible." Chapter 682, All the Stars Surround the Moon, Infinite Scenery _2. Arguing further has no point. Today was supposed to be a day of joy. Old Mrs. Shangguan didn't want to bring up these unpleasant matters. But Shangguan Furong had truly overstepped her bounds. She just up and left without a word. What would Ni Tsuehua and Shangguan Dehui think of that? Old Mrs. Shangguan continued, "Zhao Shen, there are times when a man should stand tall. Don't let her keep bullying you." Zhao Shen nodded, "Mom, I understand. Don't worry, Furong isn't that unreasonable of a person." Old Mrs. Shangguan let out a soft sigh, "I know exactly what sort of person she is. Now, I heard that Furong and Lin Fang have been getting pretty close lately." "It seems that way." Zhao Shen continued to nod. Old Mrs. Shangguan continued, "Lin Fang is a very calculating person, she acts one way from the front, and another from the back. When it comes to guile, Furong can't outplay her. I've already warned Furong, and you should also be wary of Lin Fang. Shangguan Furong is the type of person that wears her flaws on her face, she speaks her mind. If she had a bit of cunning in her, she wouldn't just up and leave without even saying hello. Whilst Lin Fang is rotten to the core, the type of person who acts like a human in front of others and a devil behind their back. These two people simply aren't on the same level. Shangguan Furong isn't a match for Lin Fang." Zhao Shen understood the implication behind old Mrs. Shangguan's words. "All right Mom, don't worry, I'll be mindful." Source, web novel. Com, updated on new. Old Mrs. Shangguan nodded, "Good, with your words, I am reassured." In reality, Zhao Shen is a very clever person. Otherwise, the Zhao family would not have lasted as long as they have, but rather, they continue to flourish. The reason he carries no weight in Zhao family matters and always listens to Shangguan Furong, is simply because he's in love with her. He truly likes Shangguan Furong. Back in the day, he paid quite a price to marry Shangguan Furong. Taking advantage of Zhao Shen's love for her, Shangguan Furong does as she pleases in the Zhao family, acting arrogantly and willfully. Even old Mrs. Zhao has to live at the mercy of her moods. Zhao Shen continued, "I'll go speak with my brother and sister-in-law now, so they won't misunderstand Furong." Old Mrs. Shangguan nodded. After the engagement ceremony ended, Ni Yang and Mo Qishan escorted Georgia and Mr. Abner to the door. Shangguan Dehui and Ni Tsuehua were seeing off the other guests. Mo Qishan stepped forward, embodying the true gentleman as he held the car door open for them. "Please." Georgia was holding onto Ni Yang's arm. She leaned in and whispered, Yang, you have a wonderful boyfriend." It was evident from Mo Qishan's words and actions, that he truly cared for Ni Yang. "Thank you." Mr. Abner looked at Mo Qishan. Yang is my mother's goddaughter, so wouldn't that make us somewhat like brothers? Mo Qishan gave a slight nod. It is my honor. Mr. Abner said, being able to call myself brother to Mr. Mo is my honor. Though others were unaware of Mo Qishan's status, Mr. Abner certainly was. 3 years ago, he had seen Mo Qishan once at a large gathering in F country. He was surrounded by a crowd, like the moon surrounded by the stars, full of glamour. Simultaneously, he was also the only Chinese person there. How could such a person possibly be a wastrel? Watching the car driving away, Yang tugged on Mo Qishan's sleeve. Brother Mo, did you and Mr. Abner know each other ahead of time? Mo Qishan gave a slight nod. I did meet him once a couple of years ago in F country. Yang laughed. No wonder I felt something off about the way you two were interacting at the party. Yang, are you jealous? Mo Qishan threw his arm over Yang's shoulder, smiling as he asked. Yang said helplessly, you're thinking too much. Mo Qishan lowered his gaze and stole a quick kiss on her cheek, as light as a dragonfly skimming the water. Yang glared at him. We're in public, mind your image, careful people see. Though Beijing wasn't as conservative in 1984, public displays of affection were still a rarity, then well do it secretly in the future. Yang, all these events were noticed by Shengguan Su from the second floor. Yang was an exceptional person. As her older brother, he should shoulder his responsibilities and make sure she doesn't end up with some worthless man. Luckily, Mo Qishan wasn't as despicable as the rumors suggested. Shengguan Zu's eyes hardened and he took a swig of his drink. Zhao family residence. When Zhao Shen returned, Shengguan Furong had just finished her shower and stepped out of the bathroom. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know to report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 683, All the Stars Surround the Moon, Infinite Scenery _3. She wore a deep purple bathrobe, her eyebrows and eyes were less dominant than usual, and she looked softer. Zhao Shen gazed at her, as if seeing the shy young girl from 15 years ago. His heart stirred for a moment as he moved to embrace Shengguan Furong, only to be roughly pushed away by her. You're sleeping in the guest room tonight. Shengguan Furong was still upset about what had happened at the engagement banquet today, so she naturally wasn't pleased with Zhao Shen. As for Shengguan Furong's orders, Zhao Shen never dared to disobey. He gathered up his bedding and change of clothes, shoved open the door, and began walking towards the study. Zhao Shen just reached the living room when the old lady Zhao descended from the stairs above. Did Furong kick you out again? Zhao Shen nodded. Old lady Zhao heaved a sigh. How many times has it been this month? Mom, I'm fine. Zhao Shen continued, I'm going to bed, you should also go to sleep early. Watching Zhao Shen walk towards the study, old lady Zhao furrowed her brow deeply. She walked over, picked up the telephone, and dialed a number. After hanging up, old lady Zhao headed towards the Buddha hall in the backyard. The Zhao family's study was quite large. Having freshly emerged from the bathroom, the telephone on the desk began to ring. Zhao Shen walked over to answer it. Hello? A soft and urgent female voice came from across the line. Hello? Is this Sister Furong? Source, web novel. Updated on Omicron New, it was clearly Lin Fang's voice. This is Zhao Shen. There was a moment of pause on the other side of the line. Then came the voice, brother-in-law, I'm at a public telephone booth on Cart Road. It's raining heavily outside, my bicycle has been stolen, and I think someone has been following me. Can you help me? Other than Sister Furong, I really can't find anyone else to help me. As she spoke her last words, Lin Fang's voice was filled with a sobbing tone. She sounded lonely and helpless, completely irresistible. Zhao Shen was inherently a righteous man. Faced with such a situation, he naturally couldn't ignore it. All right. Stay right there, I'll be right there. Thank you, brother-in-law. Lin Fang hung up the phone, her face streaked with tears, yet a smirk of triumph played at the corner of her mouth. It rained heavily. The rain plinked and plunked upon the eaves, even mixed with bits of snow. Zhao Shen drove off, the headlight in the dark splitting the night with a ray of stark white light, illuminating his way. Hearing the engine of the car, old lady Zhao, who was seated in the Buddha hall, knocked on her bead bracelet, then suddenly put down her hammer, stood up, and lit a stick of incense that she placed in the censer. Amitabha. Old lady Zhao joined her hands together and devoutly bowed her head. Meanwhile, Shengguan Furong had fallen into a deep sleep. Cart Road wasn't far from the Zhao family house, and Zhao Shen easily found the telephone booth mentioned by Lin Fang. Holding an umbrella, he stepped out of the car. Xiaolin? Comrade Xiaolin? Upon hearing Zhao Shen's voice, Lin Fang, who had been crouching in the corner of the telephone booth, immediately stood up as if seeing hope. She ran over to Zhao Shen and threw her arms around him, breaking into uncontrollable sobs. Lin Fang and Shengguan Furong were vastly different. Lin Fang was a delicate woman who needed protection, while Shengguan Furong was unyieldingly assertive. Zhao Shen was a man, and deep within his bones, hidden away, was a desire to conquer and to protect. Lin Fang's behavior, however, made up for what Shengguan Furong lacked. For a while, Zhao Shen found it hard to push Lin Fang away. Recalling how he had just been kicked out of their room by Shengguan Furong, Zhao Shen began to feel angry. In a fit of what felt like revenge, he embraced Lin Fang, dropping the black umbrella to the ground. The icy raindrops instantly soaked their clothes. On Lin Fang's face, a smug smile curled up at the corner of her mouth. Zhao Shen couldn't escape from her grasp after all. "Thank you for coming, brother-in-law." Lin Fang choked out. "Get in the car, I'll take you home." "Okay." Lin Fang nodded. The two got in the car and Zhao Shen handed Lin Fang a dry towel. "Wipe your face." "Thank you, brother-in-law." Lin Fang accepted the towel and then asked, "Can I call you by your name?" That question carried a deep implication. Zhao Shen fell silent. "Furong is older than you, it's better if you call me brother-in-law." At his words, although Lin Fang's face showed disappointment, she did not feel disheartened in her heart. Zhao Shen hadn't pushed her away earlier, indicating that he was wavering. Some things had to be taken step by step. Zhao Shen started the engine to leave. Just as the car reached the foot of the building, Lin Fang said, "I don't want to go home." "Then where do you want to go?" Zhao Shen turned his head to look at Lin Fang. "If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know to report so we can fix it as soon as possible." Chapter 684, All the Stars Surround the Moon, Infinite Scenery _4. Lin Fang looked at Zhao Shen, her face pale. "As long as I don't have to go home, anywhere will do." Zhao Shen stayed silent for a while, ultimately choosing to drive away. Eventually, Zhao Shen parked in front of a villa with Lin Fang. Zhao Shen was truly wealthy. This villa was just one of many properties he owned. Looking at the luxurious villa, a determined expression flashed in Lin Fang's eyes. Zhao Shen led Lin Fang inside, where a servant immediately greeted them, "Mr. Zhao." Zhao Shen nodded in acknowledgement. The servant looked up and was taken aback to see that the person accompanying Mr. Zhao this time was not Mrs. Zhao. Despite her surprise, the servant didn't show it. She was just a servant, her job was to perform her duties properly. Zhao Shen took Lin Fang to the master bedroom on the 3rd floor. "If you don't want to go home, you can stay here for the night. There are clothes in the closet, but they are all in Furong size. If you don't mind, feel free to change into one." Lin Fang didn't say a word, her eyes cast down. She wanted to take a gamble. Just as Zhao Shen was about to turn and leave, she suddenly stood up and hugged Zhao Shen. "Zhao Shen, I don't want to stay here temporarily, I want to live here forever. Also, I want the wardrobe to be filled with our clothes." Zhao Shen stiffened. After a long pause, he gently unclenched Lin Fang's hands. I'm sorry, we can't do this. I only love Furong. It's all right. I don't mind who you love, as long as you know I love you, Lin Fang said. As long as you're willing to be with me, I don't mind being nameless. Wuxia World. Sight Wuxia World. Sight Lin Fang's love was humble. She knew that she would only earn Zhao Shen's sympathy and pity by showing her humility. She was not Shengguan Furong, who was messing around with Zhao Shen's feelings just because he liked her. No. Zhao Shen coldly pushed Lin Fang away. What we are doing is wrong. Lin Fang looked at Zhao Shen and asked, are you afraid of Shengguan Furong? Her words were like a catalyst, instantly igniting Zhao Shen's desire for revenge. Why should he fear Shengguan Furong? Lin Fang walked over. We are both pitiful people, why don't we rely on each other for warmth? This time, Zhao Shen didn't reject Lin Fang, but instead embraced her. Somewhere along the line, someone turned off the light in the bedroom, leaving everything enveloped in darkness. In Beijing, it was customary for a bride-to-be to spend 3 nights at her groom's home after the engagement. She could only return home after 3 days. Ni Yang didn't want to remain as the third wheel. Moreover, she had workers to supervise at home, hence, she didn't stay. Shengguan Dehui arranged for transportation to send the other villagers back. Ni Yang, however, rode in Mo Qishan's car. Yang. Mo Qishan, eyes focused on the road ahead, asked in a seemingly casual way. What's up? Ni Yang tilted her head slightly. Are you brave? Mo Qishan asked back. Ni Yang nodded, quite. After all, what was there to be afraid of for someone who had experienced death before? Upon hearing this, a hint of disappointment flashed in Mo Qishan's eyes as he continued, Yang, are you afraid of ghosts? No. Ni Yang shook her head. Why do other girls fear ghosts, but you don't? Questioned Mo Qishan. Ni Yang laughed. Brother Mo, if you have something to say, just say it directly. No need to beat around the bush. Mo Qishan cleared his throat, and said simply, well, I'm saying, if you're afraid of being at home alone, I can stay with you. As soon as he finished speaking, Mo Qishan added, Yang, don't misunderstand, I'm just worried you might be scared. Ni Yang squinted her eyes. Are you harboring ulterior motives? I'm not. Yang, don't slander me. Mo Qishan's ears turned red. Tsk, Ni Yang reached out to pinch his ear. Look at you, pretending to be a gentleman. Boss, I was wrong. Please forgive me. Focus on driving, don't think about unnecessary things. Ni Yang sat up straight, turned on the car stereo, and a light song immediately filled the air. The tips of the peach leaves are sharp, the willow leaves cover the sky, listen to my words O Emperor Ming. This song, exploring the Clearwater River, was a narrative song popular in Beijing. Ni Yang remembered that in her previous life, a handsome young man turned this narrative song into a pop hit. Chapter 685, All the Stars Surround the Moon, Infinite Scenery _5. At this moment in the 80s, hearing this ancient song again gave a sense of being transported through time and space. Ni Yang hummed along to it as she listened. Her voice was clear and melodious. When she hummed a tune, it carried an indescribable charm, like a gentle breeze in April, cleansing souls and refreshing minds. Mo Qishan glanced her way, a faint smile playing at the corner of his mouth. Even though he had slowed down, they quickly arrived at Jinghua village. Ni Yang got out of the car. Mo Qishan accompanied her to the entrance of the Ni family courtyard. Yang, remember to be safe when you're alone at home at night. Don't open the door to strangers, he cautioned. Ni Yang laughed and said, isn't Aunt Ni next door? Don't worry, it'll be fine. Mo Qishan hugged her. His eyes spoke of his reluctance to leave. Ni Yang returned his hug and said, "Brother Mo, to be honest, I'm quite scared. Why don't you stay and protect me?" Even though society was conservative concerning male-female relationships, inviting a man to stay for the night was quite daring. But Ni Yang trusted Mo Qishan. Despite sometimes being mischievous, Mo Qishan was an uncommonly honorable man. "Really?" Mo Qishan's eyes lit up. "Wuxia world. Sight, really?" Ni Yang nodded. They both went inside the house together. Ni Yang prepared the next room for him. "Brother Mo, you can stay here tonight. There's a bathroom in the room." "Okay." Mo Qishan nodded in agreement. That night, Mo Qishan had the most restful sleep ever. The next morning, Mo Qishan was up before dawn. Since Ni Tsuihua was not home, he would take up the responsibility of caring for Ni Yang. He wanted to prepare a surprise for Ni Yang. Mo Qishan quietly went downstairs to the kitchen, rolled up his sleeves, and prepared to make breakfast. The kitchen of the Ni family was designed by Ni Yang. On one side, there was a simple, Western-style gas stove. On the other side, there was a traditional Chinese stove for burning firewood. Under normal circumstances, both Ni Yang and Ni Tsuihua used the traditional stove, as food cooked over a wood fire was much tastier than that cooked on a gas stove. After a bit of thought, Mo Qishan decided to use the traditional stove. Mo Qishan had not known how to cook before. He had never even been inside a kitchen. However, after spending so much time with Ni Yang and often being her assistant, he gradually learned to cook. Mo Qishan opened the refrigerator. There was pork, tomatoes, leeks, greens and other ingredients inside. So, he decided to make pork and chive-filled dumplings for breakfast and tomato and vegetable noodles. From what he observed, Ni Yang loved noodles. Like Ni Yang, Mo Qishan was a man of action and started cooking immediately. Packing dumplings was not difficult, Ni Yang had taught him before. Though his dumplings didn't look as good as Ni Yang's, they were decent. As the minutes and seconds passed, the light outside grew brighter, and a streak of golden morning light shone through the window. When Ni Yang came down the stairs, she saw an apron-wrapped man, who usually exuded a chill aura, busily bustling around the stove. From Ni Yang's perspective, she had a perfect view of his sharp yet beautiful side profile. His thin lips were a barely visible line, he was deeply focused on cutting the tomatoes. His hands were very beautiful, clean, tidy, the joints well-defined, symmetrical and long. He was merely cutting tomatoes, but he did it with the authority of a powerful ruler. He who excels in study can follow an official career, he who excels in martial arts can become a guard. Ni Yang found this phrase fitting for Mo Qishan. "Brother Mo." Ni Yang went to Mo Qishan's side. "Yang." Mo Qishan looked surprised. "How did you wake up so early? The food won't be ready for a while." Ni Yang laughed, "Maybe I should take over, cooking isn't really a man's job. Gender equality has long been recognized. Who said that the kitchen necessarily belonged to girls?" Mo Qishan continued, "Boss, your thinking is not advanced enough." Mo Qishan used to believe that a kitchen was not a place for a man. A man should be ambitious and can't allow himself to be confined to the kitchen. But ever since he met Ni Yang, let alone cooking in the kitchen, even if he had to scrub clothes or clean the toilet, he had not a single complaint. Ni Yang laughed lightly, all right, your thinking is advanced. Anyway, what's for breakfast?" "There are steamed dumplings, and tomato noodles." Mo Qishan continued, "Is there anything special you want to eat? I can make it for you." Chapter 686, Breaking News. _1 Lady Zhao never complained. Even if she did have any complaints, she dared not to voice them. After eating a few donuts, Shengguan Furong spoke again. "Also, the porridge today doesn't seem as thick as yesterday's. Mom, did you wake up late this morning?" Upon hearing this, Lady Zhao, who was holding a donut, immediately stopped. Last night, she had spent almost the entire night in the Buddha Hall, indeed waking up a bit later than usual this morning. Could it be? Had Shengguan Furong noticed something? A chill ran down Lady Zhao's spine. She raised her head to glance at Shengguan Furong before saying, "Sure, I'll pay more attention tomorrow morning." Shengguan Furong nodded contentedly, and I want to eat crystal pan-fried dumplings for breakfast tomorrow. It seemed Shengguan Furong hadn't noticed anything, thus Lady Zhao let out a sigh of relief. After finishing breakfast, Shengguan Furong took out a tissue, elegantly wiped her mouth. "By the way, where's Zhao Shun?" Lady Zhao flinched but quickly tried to regain her composure. He had something to do and went out." "Oh." Shengguan Furong nodded, paying it no further thought. "I'm going over to my mom's." Today was Ni Kuihua's first day at the Shengguans. Naturally, she had to go and check on her. Otherwise, what standing would she have in the Shengguan household in the future? Wuxia World. Site Wuxia World. Site. Ko Ni Tsuehua was a new daughter-in-law, and as such, she should serve her a cup of tea. She missed the opportunity last night, but this morning, she would definitely put Ni Tsuehua in her place. Sure. Lady Zhao stood up and escorted Shengguan Furong to the door. Seeing Shengguan Furong's disappearing figure, a layer of fine sweat formed on Lady Zhao's forehead. Just as Shengguan Furong left, Zhao Shun drove in. A ray of light flashed in Lady Zhao's eyes, and she went up to meet him at once. "Shun Bao." "Mom." Zhao Shun got out of the car. Zhao Shun glanced at Lady Zhao. "Mom, Lady Zhao waved her hand. "Don't say anything, I understand." "Have you had breakfast yet?" Zhao Shun shook his head. Lady Zhao replied, "Come in and have a meal then, the soup is still hot." "Okay." Zhao Shun nodded and followed Lady Zhao inside. Lady Zhao served Zhao Shun some porridge. Zhao Shun looked around the dining room. "Where's Furong?" "She went to her mother's house." Lady Zhao replied. Zhao Shun lowered his head to drink a spoonful of porridge. "Furong, she didn't find out anything, did she?" "No." Lady Zhao shook her head. "That's good." Zhao Shun sighed in relief. "Mom, the porridge you make is really delicious." His mood had improved. Even the plain porridge tasted better. Lady Zhao replied, "You have a sweet tongue. A moment ago, Furong thought my porridge wasn't thick enough." Zhao Shun paused while drinking his porridge. Lady Zhao was now 78 years old, an age when one should be enjoying the tranquility of life, yet she had to endure the displeasure of her daughter-in-law. Despite having maids at home, Lady Zhao had to make breakfast every morning because Shengguan Furong preferred her cooking. It was forgivable that Shengguan Furong didn't express gratitude, but her complaints were unacceptable. It was his fault for not being filial. Lady Zhao, as if sensing Zhao Shun's concerns, laughed and said, "Shun Bao, you don't need to worry about me. As we age, waking up early and moving around to exercise is good for our bodies. People are like machines, if we don't move, we rust. Is it not just making breakfast? I've dealt with much worse when I was young." In her youth, she endured hardship. Now, when life has improved, she is still facing hardship. Upon hearing this, Zhao Shun felt worse. He quickly finished a bowl of porridge and ran upstairs saying, "Mom, I'm full." As Lady Zhao watched Zhao Shun's retreating figure, a glint of determination flashed in her eyes. After so many years, it was time for Zhao Shun to stand up for himself. Shengguan Furong arrived at the Shengguans. Lady Shengguan was in the living room, playing with little Ni Yun. "Mom, where are my brother and Daya?" Shengguan Furong had been in the house for quite some time, and she hadn't seen Ni Tsuehua, this newlywed, come forward to greet her. How rude. Lady Shengguan peeled a grape for little Ni Yun. They went out to watch a movie. It was currently the 11th month of the lunar calendar, and due to limited preservation technology, grapes were rare and difficult to buy, even for the wealthy. Shangguan Furong was shocked when she saw Lady Shangguan feeding little Niyun grapes. Did a child with no blood relation really deserve such good treatment from Lady Shangguan? Shangguan Furong noticed that Lady Shangguan treated little Niyun no different from her own grandchildren, Zhao Zijuan and Zhao Ziqing. Chapter 687, Breaking News. _2. But Zhao Zijuan and Zhao Ziqing are her own great-grandchildren, can they be compared? Lady Shangguan really can't seem to prioritize. They went to watch a movie and left you alone at home to take care of the child? Yes. Lady Shangguan nodded. Our little Yunyun is so well-behaved and obedient. Yunyun, call Auntie. Auntie, little Niyun crisply called. Shangguan Furong ignored little Niyun and continued, Why? Why do they go out to have fun and leave you alone at home to take care of the child? A child that has no blood relation with the Shangguan family. Shangguan Furong is now filled with anger. Because I like to, I really like little Yunyun. Lady Shangguan picked up little Niyun and decided to ignore Shangguan Furong. She really loved little Niyun a lot. Usually, Shangguan Dehui rarely came home, and Shangguan Su and Shangguan Shi only returned on holidays. She was very bored alone at home, often just sitting on the sofa in a daze. But now it was different, now she had little Niyun. Little Niyun was like a pistachio. With her company, Lady Shangguan felt she had grown a lot younger. Does she still go by the surname Ni? Continued Shangguan Furong. Lady Shangguan frowned slightly. Furong, can't you worry less? Mom, do you really think we're charitable, raising other people's children? Aren't you afraid of being laughed at? Shangguan Furong crossed her arms. Little Niyun didn't understand what the adults were saying and blinked curiously. Lady Shangguan hugged little Niyun tightly. Yunyun, do you want to swing and slide in the back garden with Grandma? So that little Niyun could have more fun, Lady Shangguan had splurged to bring in a slide from another town. Sure. Little Niyun nodded. Lady Shangguan didn't bother with Shangguan Furong anymore. She took little Niyun to the back garden. Shangguan Furong watched Lady Shangguan's retreating figure, shook her head helplessly, and went to the master bedroom on the second floor. This was the room where Shangguan Dehui and Ni Tsuehua stayed last night. Shangguan Furong pushed open the door. The room was arranged very warmly, with a red scarf hanging on the coat rack. Shangguan Furong pushed open the bathroom door. A row of skincare products was set on the wash basin, all of which were the Supreme Edition of Icy Skin Jade. Without thinking, she knew that these skincare products belonged to Ni Tsuehua. With Ni Kuihua's status as a country woman, did she deserve such high-quality things? Shangguan Furong frowned, picked up a bottle of essence milk, and sniffed it. The Supreme Edition seemed to smell much better than the regular edition. Ni Tsuehua was just a peasant woman, where did she get the money to buy Icy Skin Jade? Without having to think, she knew these cosmetics must have been given to her by Shangguan Dehui. Stealing was not Shangguan Furong's style. But using it shouldn't be a problem, right? After all, this was bought with the Shangguan family's money. Shangguan Furong turned on the faucet and washed her face carefully with face wash, followed by lotion and essential oils. She didn't know if it was just her imagination, but she felt this Supreme Edition was much better than the regular edition. She didn't even get to buy such a good thing. How come Ni Tsuehua got to benefit? Shangguan Furong looked at herself in the mirror and frowned slightly. By now, she had forgotten that Ni Tsuehua once gave her a box of the Supreme Edition Icy Skin Jade. She didn't cherish it and even questioned it as a fake, which embarrassed Ni Tsuehua. Shangguan Furong then opened the door of the neighboring cabinet. This cabinet was filled with perfumes and shampoos. But more importantly, Shangguan Furong found another box of extra Supreme Edition Icy Skin Jade. People queue up and couldn't buy it, but Ni Tsuehua had one for herself and another one to spare. Was this set of icy skin jade meant to please her? Shangguan Furong narrowed her eyes and reached out to take the gift box. It took her a while before she put the gift box back. Even if Ni Tsuehua wanted to please her, she wouldn't accept Ni Tsuehua so easily. Unless Ni Tsuehua was willing to willingly change Ni Yang's and Ni Yun's surnames to Shangguan. Otherwise, she would never accept Ni Tsuehua. Shangguan Furong looked around the room for a while, then went downstairs. "Furong, what were you doing upstairs?" asked Lady Shangguan, hugging little Ni Yun as she came in from outside. Shangguan Furong said, "Mom, what a strange question. This is my home. Isn't there anywhere I'm not allowed to go?" Chapter 688, Breaking News. _3. That's not what I meant. The old lady Shangguan continued, "Your brother and Daya are very happy together, and you, as a sister, should offer blessings, not create chaos." "I know." Shangguan Furong replied. Old lady Shangguan went on, "And, I have to repeat, keep an eye on Lin Fang. You're so stubborn, and it will be your downfall." Shangguan Furong laughed and said, "Mother, you've been saying this all the time. Have you ever considered my feelings? Lin Fang is my best friend. I trust her just as you trust Daya. How would you feel if I continuously spoke ill of Daya in front of you?" Shangguan Furong and Lin Fang were very good friends now, and she didn't believe Lin Fang would do anything to harm her. Old lady Shangguan sighed, "I'm just saying, whether you listen or not is up to you." Shangguan Furong originally planned to stay at the Shangguan family until Ni Tsuehua returned. After all, Ni Tsuehua still had the ice skin jade to give her. But she waited until the afternoon, and Ni Tsuehua had not returned yet. Shangguan Furong no longer had the patience to wait. She planned to play cards with the rich ladies. Now that she had a membership card for Wuxia Xianxia, she naturally went to the third floor of Wuxia Xianxia to play cards. Not far from the Shangguan household, Shangguan Furong ran into Lin Fang. "Sister Furong, where are you going?" "To play cards." Shangguan Furong answered. Lin Fang said with envy, "Having a loving husband is really different. Unlike me, I can only play on my rest days. Where would I find the time to play otherwise?" Shangguan Furong laughed smugly, "So, it's not only about finding a good husband for a woman but also having the ability to manage the family." Lin Fang nodded, "You're right, Sister Furong. I'm envious of capable women like you." "I'm simply not like that." Shangguan Furong patted Lin Fang's hand, "These things can't be forced." Lin Fang seemed envious on the surface but was scoffing inside. What did Shangguan Furong have to be so smug about? Did she know that Zhao Shun had already betrayed her? It wouldn't be long before Zhao Shun would discard Shangguan Furong like trash. Lin Fang continued, "Sister Furong, can I accompany you to play cards and broaden my horizons?" Shangguan Furong agreed without a second thought because Lin Fang made such a thoughtful request. The two went to the VIP room on the third floor of Wuxia Xianxia. Lin Fang said, "Thanks to Sister Furong, it's my first time in such a sophisticated place." Shangguan Furong turned around in surprise, "But isn't the membership card from you?" Lin Fang laughed a little, then said, "Sister Furong, how can I afford such an expensive membership card? Someone gave it to me too. With my status, if you weren't with me, I wouldn't be in such a place. Only you, Sister Furong, can use this membership card." Lin Fang's flattery made Shangguan Furong very happy. As soon as they opened the door of the VIP room, Jia Zhenjin, Zhao Yiyun, and another rich lady had already arrived. Shangguan Furong introduced Lin Fang to everyone. "Hello, sisters, I am Lin Fang. Please take care of me in the future." "Take care of me in the future?" That could be interesting. The other three exchanged glances, all seeing confusion in each other's eyes. Lin Fang had excellent social skills, and through her flattery, she quickly became accepted within this inner circle. That evening, Shengguan Furong brought Lin Fang back to the Zhao family. When Zhao Shen saw Lin Fang, he was slightly surprised and seemed somewhat unnatural. This was not Lin Fang's first time at the Zhao family. However, considering what had transpired between the two of them the night before, their encounter now was somewhat awkward. "What are you waiting for? Go make some tea for Lin Fang." Shengguan Furong rolled her eyes at Zhao Shen. Shengguan Furong was deliberately showing off her status in the family in front of Lin Fang. Little did she know, it's crucial to save face for a man in front of outsiders. Lin Fang swiftly took the teapot from Zhao Shen's hands, her fingers brushing against his palm. She smiled and asked, "Why would we need brother-in-law for this? I can do it myself." "Sister Furong, do you like sugar in your tea?" Shengguan Furong, who was accustomed to domineering and others' compliance, failed to notice anything amiss. "No, I like pure green tea." "All right." Lin Fang went to make the tea. She waited a long time, had lunch at the Shengguans, but until dinner time when she left, Ni Tsuehua didn't present her with the Supreme Edition Ice Skin Jade Beauty. What's going on? Could it be that Ni Tsuehua had forgotten? Asking for things directly was not Shengguan Furong's style. She had ways to make Ni Tsuehua obediently give them to her. Suppressing her rage, Shengguan Furong left the Shengguans and made Zhao Shen sleep in the study that night. Today was the 14th of November, Mo Kishen's birthday. Ni Yang got up early in the morning. She put on a plain white cheongsam, threw a maroon coat over it, grabbed the gift she had prepared, greeted Ni Tsuehua, and left the house. Yet, Ni Yang didn't go directly to Missouri Kishen's place. Instead, she rode her bicycle to the rose garden. Jinghua village had almost 300 acres of rose fields. Since it was winter, the rose garden was covered with plastic sheets to form a greenhouse. There was straw on the outside of the greenhouse to keep the interior warm. Even though it was deep winter, the greenhouse was filled with fiery red roses, an exquisite sight. "Yang, why have you come so early?" Auntie Lin, who was looking after the greenhouse, was surprised to see Ni Yang. Ni Yang parked her bike and smiled. "Auntie Lin, I've come to pick some roses." This patch of roses belonged to Auntie Lin's family. Ever since they planted roses, Auntie Lin had made 200 or 300 yuan. Seeing Ni Yang was like seeing the god of wealth for her. She laughed saying, come in, it's cold outside. Feel free to pick whatever roses you like from the garden." Generally, they would pick roses, weigh them, and deliver them to the Ni family. Ni Yang personally coming over most likely meant she wanted to pick a few roses to put in a vase back home. Just typical of a girl who loved flowers and plants. Ni Yang went inside with Auntie Lin. Chapter 690, Breaking News. _5. Aunt Lin handed Ni Yang a pair of scissors. Yang, just cut whichever one you fancy, don't stand on ceremony with me." "Thank you, Aunt Lin." Ni Yang took the scissors and picked out the roses with the most attractive buds, cutting 36 roses. Then, Ni Yang took out 3 colored pieces of plastic paper and a red string from her bag to wrap the roses. Just a bit of wrapping paper dramatically elevated the roses' appeal. Aunt Lin was amazed. Yang, you're truly impressive." Ni Yang laughed. "Aunt Lin, it's the roses that are beautiful to begin with." After wrapping the roses, Ni Yang took out a yuan coin from her pocket and gave it to Aunt Lin. She paid 3 cents per pound for the roses in the village. With 36 roses, including branches and leaves, it was about 2 to 3 pounds. Aunt Lin refused to take Ni Yang's money. "It's just a few roses, Yang. If you insist on paying, wouldn't that belittle me?" Ni Yang laughed and said, "This is what you make a living from, and I can't just take it for free. Please keep the money, otherwise, I won't have the nerve to come over and pick roses next time. Unable to refuse Ni Yang, Aunt Lin reluctantly took the money. Just 1 yuan is too much, these flowers weigh at most 2 pounds. Yang, you must take the change, no matter what. Ni Yang took the change, picked up the roses, and rode her bike to the urban area. Mo Qishan no longer lives at the Mo family home, but in his own villa. Ni Yang rode her bike to Mo Qishan's villa and rang the doorbell. Mo Qishan was not a morning person. It was only 7 o'clock in the morning, and the doorbell woke him up, leaving him in a terrible mood. Who could be at the door? His servants hadn't started working yet, and he didn't like to have strangers stay over, so he had to answer the door himself. Mo Qishan's face was taut, and his thin lips were almost a straight line as he climbed out of bed and threw off the duvet. A strong, intimidating aura radiated from him. A disgruntled boss is not a good thing. When Mo Qishan opened the door with his frosty demeanor, he was met with a bouquet of fiery red roses. Ta! Happy birthday, brother Mo! A face as beautiful as a painting emerged from behind the bouquet. Contrary to the adage, she even put the roses to shame. Instantly, Mo Qishan lost all his temper. He picked up Ni Yang and asked, Yang, how did you know today is my birthday? Ni Yang, holding the roses in one hand and wrapping her other arm around Mo Qishan's neck, responded, didn't you know I can predict the future? Yang, you're brilliant. Mo Qishan, overjoyed, spun Ni Yang around several times. No one but his parents had ever genuinely remembered his birthday. At this moment, denying his feelings would be a lie. Yang, thank you. Mo Qishan hugged Ni Yang tightly. Why are you talking nonsense? Ni Yang returned, smiling, by the way, brother Mo, besides the roses, I prepared another mysterious gift for you. Can you guess what it is? Mo Qishan rubbed his nose, a tie. No. Ni Yang shook her head. Clothes? Ni Yang continued shaking her head. Perhaps shoes? Ni Yang still shook her head. Despite guessing several items, Mo Qishan got them all wrong. Ni Yang sighed, brother Mo, you're truly hopeless. Mo Qishan shamelessly responded, I'm dumb, and you're smart, we complement each other perfectly. Only then did Ni Yang produce a gift she had started preparing months prior. Do you like it? It was a wine-colored knitted scarf. Although it didn't look too attractive, it was warm. I love it. Mo Qishan nodded hastily, Yang, did you make this yourself? Ni Yang smiled faintly, finally, a smart guess. It was her first time knitting a scarf. It took over a month of undoing and redoing the knitting to finally finish it. Oddly, she usually picks up things quickly, but knitting scarves was not one of them. Help me put it on. Sure. Ni Yang nodded, picked up the scarf, stood on tiptoes, and said, just bend down a little. Mo Qishan bent down as instructed, and Ni Yang effortlessly put the scarf around his neck. But at that moment, a cool touch suddenly grazed the corner of her lips. The scent of tobacco filled her nostrils. Light and pleasant. Just as sudden, he released her. Ni Yang headed towards the kitchen. Brother Mo, you haven't had breakfast yet, have you? I'll do it. Mo Qishan followed Ni Yang's footsteps. Mo Qishan felt that as long as he was there, Ni Yang shouldn't be cooking alone. You're the birthday boy today, how could I let you cook? I'll do it. Ni Yang pushed Mo Qishan towards the door, quickly go upstairs and get changed. Once you're dressed, we can eat. Chapter 691, All the Stars Surround the Moon, Infinite Scenery _6. Ni Yang shook her head, no, I just like steamed dumplings and tomato noodles. Brother Mo, you've worked hard. I've worked so hard, shouldn't you reward me a little? Here's a reward for you, a piece of tomato. Ni Yang casually picked up a piece of cut tomato and stuffed it into Mo Qishan's mouth. Mo Qishan, what he actually wanted was a good morning kiss. The Shengguan family. Today is Ni Qihua's first morning at the Shengguan family's house. Although she didn't go to bed until very late last night, she still woke up early in the morning. Today is her first day staying over at the Shengguans. If she were to oversleep, it might not make a great impression. Ni Zhuhua pulled away the covers and quietly got out of bed, when Shengguan Dehui beside her suddenly woke up. "Why are you up so early?" Ni Zhuhua blushed momentarily. "It's already past 7. "Sleep a little longer," continued Shengguan Dehui. "You can rest assured, our family doesn't have strict rules. If you get up too early, it might make my mom feel like she did something wrong." Shengguan Dehui didn't give Ni Zhuhua a chance to hesitate. When Ni Zhuhua woke up again, it was already past 10 in the morning. Sunlight shone in from outside the window, and a tall man was standing at the foot of her bed, getting dressed, first the dress shirt, then the wool sweater. Ni Zhuhua watched all this happening, then looked out the window again, and suddenly felt like she was in a dream. She couldn't even have dreamed that her life in Beijing would take such a drastic turn. "Up already?" At this moment, Shengguan Dehui suddenly turned around. Ni Zhuhua was caught off guard at first, then she said, Shengguan Dehui took a few steps forward. "Do you want to get up now, or sleep a little longer?" "I'll get up now," Ni Zhuhua answered. Shengguan Dehui took out clothes from the cabinet for her. "I'll wait for you to go downstairs together." "Okay," Ni Zhuhua nodded. Then she took the clothes to the bathroom to change. After changing and taking care of her skin, she emerged from the bathroom about 20 minutes later. She was wearing a high-necked wool sweater inside a gray-blue down jacket, which made her look very stylish and much younger than she actually was. They both went downstairs together. As soon as they got downstairs, they saw Lady Shengguan leading little Ni Yun inside from outside. The old and the young got along very well. In fact, little Ni Yun had spent last night with Lady Shengguan. "Mom," they both greeted Lady Shengguan in unison. According to the local customs, they should start addressing her differently after the engagement. Shengguan's old lady walked up to them smiling happily and satisfied. "Good. Mama." Seeing Ni Zhuhua, little Ni Yun very coolly greeted her. "Yun Yun," Ni Zhuhua walked over and picked up little Ni Yun. "Daddy, hold me." Little Ni Yun stretched out his hand to Shengguan Dehui. Shengguan Dehui took little Ni Yun from Ni Qihua's arms. Old Lady Shengguan looked at the harmonious scene in front of her, beaming with satisfaction. She then said, "Breakfast is ready, let's go have breakfast. Also, Xiaoxiu and Xiaoxi have gone to work. Dia, don't mind." Ni Zhuhua laughed and said, "It's okay, work is important." She usually gets along well with the kids and doesn't overthink things, because she knows Xiaoxiu and Xiaoxi aren't those kinds of people. Meanwhile, elsewhere, when Zhao Shen woke up, he could hardly believe what had happened last night, but the sight of Lin Fang lying next to him reminded him that the events were not a dream. He really did something that would let Shengguan Furong down. He didn't know what he had been thinking last night, but now, he was deeply regretful. What should he do now? How should he face Shengguan Furong? Just then, Lin Fang suddenly reached out and hugged him. "Do you regret it?" When did Lin Fang wake up? Zhao Shen was taken aback. Lin Fang continued, "I don't regret it." After a pause, she said, "If you do regret it, we can pretend that nothing happened. Don't worry, I won't pester you." With that, Lin Fang let go of Zhao Shen. Zhao Shen opened his mouth, suddenly at a loss for words, as he didn't know what to say at the moment. "Rest assured, I keep my word," Lin Fang continued. "I'll compensate you," Zhao Shen finally said after a long pause. The only thing he could do now was to compensate Lin Fang. "I don't want your compensation," said Lin Fang. "Zhao Shen, do you know? I really envy Sister Furong. I envy her for having such a good husband like you." The universe is really playing a joke on us. She has you, but she doesn't know how to cherish you. I want to cherish you, but I can't have you. Her tone was full of mockery by the end of it. Xiaolin, you, Zhao Shen closed his eyes, then continued, we can't continue making mistakes. Lin Fang turned around to look at Zhao Shen, is love a mistake too? Zhao Shen fell silent. Lin Fang let out a sigh, raised the blanket and got out of bed, picked up the clothes from the floor and started to put them on one by one. Then she picked up Zhao Shen's clothes, do you want to get up now? I can help you. Zhao Shen took his clothes, I can do it myself. But I want to help you. Lin Fang helped Zhao Shen get dressed and put on his socks, even helped him put on his shoes and tie his shoelaces. Did Sister Furong ever help you like this? No, of course not. Such a domineering person like Shagwan Furong, when did she ever lower her head? In their relationship, Zhao Shen was the one who always made the sacrifice. Zhao Shen never knew that not having to give all the time could be so enjoyable. All of a sudden, it seemed like he wasn't that regretful anymore. After all, Shangwan Furong acted out of line first. Lin Fang was sweet and considerate, much more so than Shangwan Furong. Seeing Zhao Shen's changing expressions, Lin Fang smiled smugly. Then Lin Fang continued, this is probably the first time I helped you, and it will also be the last time. I won't go to your house again, and I won't go to find Sister Furong. These words were a catalyst. Zhao Shen looked at Lin Fang and said very firmly, I don't regret. That's right. He didn't regret it. Shangwan Furong didn't even notice that Zhao Shen didn't return home last night. In fact, over the years, she had just been living her life carelessly, and never cared for Zhao Shen at all. Mom, these fried dough sticks seem a bit old. Because Shangwan Furong loved the fried dough sticks made by Lady Zhao, every morning's breakfast was personally prepared by her. The old lady was getting old and couldn't bear the kitchen fumes, but Shangwan Furong didn't appear to care about these things, she only cared about her own enjoyment. Chapter 692, Breaking News. _6. Mo Qishan was led upstairs by Ni Yang. In the kitchen, Ni Yang prepared to cook some longevity noodles. Soon, a bowl of tasty longevity noodles was ready. The accompaniments included an egg, some greens, with a rich pork broth that made everything so delicious. Just as Ni Yang had set the longevity noodles on the table, Mo Qishan, having changed his clothes, came down from upstairs. Brother Mo, come and eat. Yang, aren't you eating? Mo Qishan saw only one bowl of longevity noodles on the table. I already ate at home. Ni Yang said. Mo Qishan went to the kitchen and got another pair of chopsticks. Yang, shall we eat together? Ni Yang, although already full, nodded, sure. This was a small pleasure unique to couples. Such moments would be sweet memories in their old age. After breakfast, the two washed the dishes together and played around for a while, before heading to the Mo family. Mo Qishan biked with her, Yang, don't we look like a young couple going home to visit parents on a holiday? Mr. Mo, please have some shame. Ni Yang was nestled against him, I never said I would marry you. Mo Qishan laughed and looked into the distance, no problem, I can marry you instead. Ni Yang raised an eyebrow slightly, you're good with being a live-in son-in-law? Mo Qishan nodded seriously, yes. As long as Ni Yang was willing to marry him, let alone accepting the role of live-in son-in-law, even if he had to go through hell and back, he would not hesitate. Live-in son-in-law? What's that? A piece of cake. Ni Yang stroked her chin, I'll think about it. Boss, when can you give me an answer? Mo Qishan asked again. Depends on the mood. Ni Yang replied. The sun gradually rose higher, the golden warmth filled the earth, even the chilly wind became more bearable. Before long, they arrived at the Mo family's villa. The two of them walked in hand. Mo's grandmother immediately ran out to hug Ni Yang. Yang is here. Today was Mo Kishan's birthday. The elderly couple knew that Ni Yang would certainly come home with Mo Kishan, so they had been waiting at home early. Auntie. At the side, Mo Kishan might as well have turned into a mass of unattended air. There was a time when he was his grandma's precious child too, but ever since Ni Yang appeared, he had become a worthless piece of metal. Even his grandfather chose to selectively ignore Mo Kishan. Yang, isn't it cold outside? Come here, I made a special milk tea for you, have a taste and see if it's good? What do you mean you made it? I handmade those pearls in it. Grandma Mo was displeased with Grandpa Mo claiming all the credit. If it weren't for me, the milk tea would have been burnt long ago. Mo Kishan, boil milk tea and make pearls? He never knew his parents were so versatile. Upon the enthusiastic invitation by Grandpa and Grandma Mo, Ni Yang ended up drinking 2 whole cups of milk tea. Downstairs was bustling. Mo Baichuan was standing on the 3rd floor, a trace of sarcasm crept up on his face. Cousin, isn't that Ni Yang? And the person sitting next to Ni Yang, isn't that your 6th uncle? Xiao Yingying asked uncertainly. Mo Kishan often stayed away from home, and Xiao Yingying hadn't met him, she had only heard of his reputation. However, she had seen Ni Yang once at the Mo family last time. Yes. Mo Baichuan nodded. Xiao Yingying then asked, is that the loser? Mo Baichuan nodded again. Xiao Yingying looked disgustingly downward. Even if he's a loser, why are your grandparents so happy? Normally, if a family has a loser son, wouldn't it be cause for sadness? Xiao Yingying was somewhat confused. Mo Baichuan explained, my 6th uncle is their youngest child. Usually, the youngest one is the most cherished. Xiao Yingying nodded. By the way, cousin, when are you going to take me to meet Mr. Mog? She had been staying in the Mo family for quite some time but hadn't met anyone who could be Mr. Mog yet. She had asked Grandpa and Grandma Mo about him, but both of them said they didn't know. And it didn't seem like they were pretending. Mo Baichuan then said, you go down and greet them. Xiao Yingying frowned slightly, who wants to greet a loser? I'm going back to my room to sleep. Mo Baichuan continued, don't forget, you're still living in my grandparents' house. Isn't this place yours and uncle's? Xiao Yingying asked. Mo Baichuan shook his head. Reluctantly, Xiao Yingying had to greet them. She had no choice. Who asked her to be under others' roof? By the way, cousin, are you going out? Xiao Yingying turned and looked at Mo Baichuan. Yes. Xiao Yingying's eyes lit up. Cousin, are you going to see Mr. Mog? I want to go with you. Mo Baichuan reluctantly said, I am going to pick up my girlfriend. Mo Kishan was back. Ni Yang was here too. Such a situation naturally couldn't be without Zhao Jingrong, his former fiancé. He refused to believe that Mo Kishan could still stay calm upon seeing Zhao Jingrong. And when Ni Yang found out that Zhao Jingrong was his girlfriend, she would definitely mess up. He was looking forward to seeing Mo Kishan and Ni Yang's reactions later. You have a girlfriend? Xiao Yingying looked suspiciously at Mo Baichuan. Yes. Mo Baichuan nodded. Xiao Yingying didn't believe that Mo Baichuan had found a girlfriend so quickly. He must be secretly meeting Mr. Mog. Then I'll go with you. Xiao Yingying hooked her arm around Mo Baichuan's, just in time to see what my future sister-in-law looks like too. Yingying, don't be ridiculous. Mo Baichuan frowned slightly. Xiao Yingying smiled and said, I'm not. Mo Baichuan had no choice but to take Xiao Yingying with him. When she saw Mo Baichuan's girlfriend, Xiao Yingying was also taken aback. She didn't expect the other party to be Zhao Jingrong. But wasn't she supposed to be Mo Kishan's former fiancé? The relationships were seriously messed up. The three of them came to the Mo family together. When Grandma and Grandpa Mo saw Zhao Jingrong, they were both dumbfounded. What was going on? Zhao Jingrong smiled. Hello, Grandpa and Grandma. Grandpa and Grandma? Grandpa and Grandma Mo became even more confused. Mo Baichuan took the lead. Grandpa, Grandma, sixth uncle, future sixth aunt, let me introduce you, this is my girlfriend, Zhao Jingrong. The words were like a bomb. The shock had Grandpa and Grandma Mo questioning if they were hearing things. What did you say? Grandma Mo was the first to react. Before Mo Baichuan could respond, Zhao Jingrong stepped forward. Grandma, you heard right, I am now Baichuan's girlfriend. Chapter 693, Abuse Shengguan Furong, I want to divorce you. _1 girlfriend? Zhao Jingrong is actually Mo Baichuan's girlfriend? What kind of joke is this? Madame Mo looked at Zhao Jingrong in front of her, so angry that she wanted to slap Mo Baichuan. Put aside what type of person Zhao Jingrong is, just the fact that she was previously engaged to Mo Qishan, he should not be getting involved with her. Old Master Mo was also very angry, pointing at Mo Baichuan and asked, what's going on? Mo Baichuan, however, was very calm. Exactly what you see, I like Jingrong, and Jingrong likes me too. Bastard! Old Master Mo clutching his heart, nearly passing out as he gasped for breath, break up. You two need to break up immediately. Zhao Jingrong earnestly said, Grandpa, Baichuan and I are genuinely in love. Please bless us. Genuinely in love? Madame Mo looked at Zhao Jingrong. If I'm not wrong, back then, you said that in this lifetime you would marry no one but Mr. Mog. And now they talk about genuinely in love. What a joke. Zhao Jingrong's expression changed. Grandma, I was young then, and spoke without thinking. Please don't hold that against me. Baichuan and I truly are in love. Please grant us your blessing. Where was the love between her and Mo Baichuan? They were merely using each other. Zhao Jingrong wanted to marry Mr. Mog, and Mo Baichuan just wanted to aggravate Ni Yang and Mo Qishan. However, the usually astute and smart Zhao Jingrong could not have imagined that she had placed her bets on the wrong man. As she said her last words, Zhao Jingrong pulled Mo Baichuan with her onto the floor, kneeling down together. Mo Baichuan subtly glanced at Ni Yang. There was no special expression on his face. Same with Mo Qishan's reaction, it was rather bland. This wasn't quite what he had expected. Were they pretending? From the start to the end, Zhao Jingrong didn't deign to give Mo Qishan a single extra glance. She didn't need to see his face to know that he must be very shocked. He must not have thought that she would end up with Mo Baichuan. Wait. Couldn't Mo Qishan be trying to use this opportunity to deliberately cause trouble between her and Mo Baichuan? After all, Mo Qishan still loved her deeply. With this in mind, Zhao Jingrong started to feel a bit anxious. Old Master Mo and Madame Mo, who were so fond of the worthless Mo Qishan, would make things difficult if Mo Qishan tried to cause trouble. With this thought, Zhao Jingrong squinted her eyes, a touch of worry flitting across her gaze. Dad, Mom, just then, Mo Qishan weakly piped up. Did Mo Qishan really want to stop her from being with Mo Baichuan? Zhao Jingrong raised her head to look at Mo Qishan. She knew it, Mo Qishan couldn't forget her. He clearly underestimated the situation, still thinking he could pry her and Mo Baichuan apart at this stage. Zhao Jingrong spoke before Mo Qishan could. Grandma, Grandpa, I know you are mindful of my previous engagement with Mo Qishan. But that was an arranged engagement. I didn't like him at all, there wasn't even a shred of affection. But it's different with Baichuan. Our love is free. We truly adore each other. Zhao Jingrong's words were passionate, so much so that the rims of her eyes reddened. What was Mo Qishan? He simply wasn't worthy of her. It was with great difficulty that she managed to call off their engagement. She couldn't let Imo-Chishan hinder her now. Mo Baichuan casually lifted his eyes and looked at Imo-Chishan. He knew it, Zhao Jingrong wouldn't let him down. What followed was a big charade. Next second, Imo-Chishan continued, "Dad, Mom, since Baichuan and Miss Zhao are genuinely in love, why not bless them instead of making things difficult for the loving couple?" What? Imo-Chishan actually pleaded on their behalf? What's going on? He should be objecting to their relationship, right? Zhao Jingrong was a bit stunned. Mo Baichuan was also slightly taken aback. This was a bit different from what he had anticipated. It must be said, the reactions of Ni Yang and Imo-Chishan were somewhat beyond his expectations. Old Master Mo stayed silent, his eyebrows furrowed deeply. In all his years, he had never seen something like this. The nephew actually ended up with his uncle's fiancée. If word of this got out, wouldn't it just be a laughingstock? Come with me to the study. Old Master Mo looked at Mo Baichuan. Mo Baichuan rose from the ground and followed Old Master Mo's footsteps. When he entered the study, Mo Baichuan thought Old Master Mo was about to lose his temper. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know to report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 694, Misery Shengguan Furong, I Want to Divorce You. _2. Oddly enough, the old Master Mo didn't lose his temper, but instead pointed to the chair and said, "Sit down." Mo Baichuan took a seat on the chair. With his back to him, Old Master Mo heaved a sigh and then asked, "Baichuan, have you really made up your mind?" "Yes, grandfather," Mo Baichuan replied, "I've decided." He never made decisions he would regret later. Now that he had crossed this threshold, he wouldn't turn back. There are so many girls in Beijing, why did you choose Zhao Jingrong of all people? Old Master Mo turned to look at Mo Baichuan. Do you realize that Zhao Jingrong could have almost been your aunt by marriage? In ancient times, this would have been punishable by submersion in a pig cage. By the time he said that last sentence, Old Master Mo could hardly control his volume. But you said it yourself, it was almost the case. Mo Baichuan said calmly, Zhao Jingrong and I are of the same age, she comes from a good family, and she has a master's degree from abroad. I don't see what's wrong between us. Grandfather, the past is the past, we have to live in the present. Zhao Jingrong was only betrothed to Imo-Chishan, they weren't actually married. At this moment, the old Mistress Mo walked in from outside. Do you know what kind of person Zhao Jingrong is? She's vain and doesn't deserve you. The old Mistress Mo absolutely didn't like Zhao Jingrong. If she weren't so vain, she wouldn't have broken off her engagement with Imo-Chishan. It's not that Jingrong is vain, it's because my uncle couldn't hold on to her. Mo Baichuan continued, if I were in her place, I wouldn't want to marry someone like my uncle either. Who would want to marry a worthless man? The old mistress was so furious that she was shaking all over. Old Master Mo sighed again, and then said, Baichuan, are you sure about this? Yes. Mo Baichuan nodded, I've decided. Old Master Mo continued saying, well, since you're sure, there is no point in our talking anymore. You can go now. Old man. The old Mistress Mo grabbed the old master's sleeve. Let him go. Old Master Mo sighed again, the fortune of sons and grandsons depends on themselves. Imo-Chishan doesn't mind, we should avoid overstepping our boundaries. Stretching out one's hand too far tends to make them disliked. If they end up together, won't outsiders laugh at our family, said the old Mistress Mo. Old Master Mo squinted his eyes, if the Zhao family doesn't fear losing face, why should the Mo family? Today, if it weren't for Zhao Jingrong prostrating on the ground and begging me, I wouldn't have agreed. Upon hearing this, the old mistress felt a bit better. Right. This time it was Zhao Jingrong who took the initiative, not the Mo family begging for her hand in marriage. If outsiders are going to laugh, they'll laugh at the Zhao family's lack of discipline. Old Master Mo continued, besides, they're just dating right now. Whether they will end up together is still uncertain. The old mistress Mo nodded in agreement. Mo Baichuan walked into the living room and helped Zhao Jingrong up from the ground. Somehow worried, Zhao Jingrong asked, "Why did you come out? How about grandfather and grandmother?" "Don't worry," Mo Baichuan said, "they have agreed to our relationship." The volume of his voice seemed just right to let Mo Qishan and Ni Yang hear. What a pity. The two were like they hadn't heard anything. They sat on the couch, whispering to each other and smiling. Clearly, their laughter was heartfelt. Zhao Jingrong was Mo Qishan's former fiancé. Wasn't Ni Yang bothered by it at all? And Mo Qishan, he didn't react at all to his former fiancé being with his nephew. Jingrong. Mo Baichuan turned to look at Zhao Jingrong. Zhao Jingrong looked at him bewildered. What? Let me introduce you, this is my uncle's girlfriend, Ni Yang. Mo Baichuan brought Zhao Jingrong in front of the two. Zhao Jingrong laughed and said, I had already met Miss Ni once before. The last time in the restaurant, Ni Yang had ridiculed her quite a lot. Mo Qishan said, Yang Yang is now my girlfriend, you two are the younger generation, and should call Yang Yang aunt according to our family hierarchy. Calling her Miss Ni doesn't sound right. Your uncle is right. Old Mistress Mo chimed in from the other side. Zhao Jingrong had thought that when Mo Qishan saw her, he would be unwilling to let go and cling to her relentlessly. But Mo Qishan had surprised her time and time again. Is he trying to get her attention on purpose? Calling her aunt? Ni Yang looked even younger than her, and the last time at the Western restaurant, they had a falling out. She couldn't bring herself to call Ni Yang aunt. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know to report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 695, Tormenting Shengguan Furong, I Want to Divorce You. _3. Everyone says that your Zhao family is a prestigious family that attaches great importance to etiquette and upbringing. Now when you meet an elder, you can't even greet them properly. What kind of daughter have your parents raised? Mrs. Mo did not give Zhao Jingrong any face with these words, even cursing Zhao's parents. Zhao Jingrong bit her lip. She knew that Mrs. Mo did not like her, but she didn't expect that Mrs. Mo would be so unsparing. Forget it. Isn't it just a matter of greeting someone? As long as she can successfully marry Mo Baichuan, she is willing to do anything. The day when she becomes Mrs. Mog, there will be plenty of time for them to regret. Zhao Jingrong reacted and said, Sixth aunt. Ni Yang nodded with a smile, and said gracefully, Good girl. Zhao Jingrong was so angry. This feeling of being lower in rank was suffocating. Thankfully, Mo Baichuan holds a high status. Before getting close to Mo Baichuan, Zhao Jingrong did some research on Ni Yang. She knew that Mo Baichuan had offered Ni Yang an olive branch. But Ni Yang rejected Mo Baichuan. Ni Yang was really blind. She actually rejected Mo Baichuan for a worthless man. I wonder if she will regret it when she knows the true identity of Mo Baichuan. By then, she'd regret it until her guts turn green. Thinking about this, Zhao Jingrong was jubilant. All the frustration vanished. As long as she could marry Mr. Mog, what would a bit of humiliation matter? What about you? Mo Qishan looked up at Mo Baichuan. Sixth aunt. Mo Baichuan reluctantly called out. Good. Ni Yang nodded in satisfaction, completely uplifting the posture of an elder. Speaking of which, Mo Qishan's family ranking is really high. Going by this calculation, when Mo Baichuan gets married and has children, won't she become a great-aunt? Then she would undoubtedly be the youngest, most beautiful great-aunt in history. Brother Mo, let's go upstairs, I want to play games in your room. Ni Yang turned her eyes to Mo Qishan. Zhao Jingrong was after all Mo Qishan's ex-fiancée, and Mo Baichuan was suspicious. Ni Yang simply couldn't put up with being in the same room with them. It always felt a bit strange. Sure. The two headed upstairs, leaving only Mo Baichuan and Zhao Jingrong, as well as Mr. and Mrs. Mo. Mrs. Mo said, "Dear, let's go to the kitchen to take a look." With Ni Yang and Mo Qishan gone, the two old people also did not want to face Zhao Jingrong. The two old people went to the kitchen together. In the blink of an eye, only Mo Baichuan and Zhao Jingrong were left in the living room. They looked at each other in silence. The atmosphere was somewhat awkward. "Shall we watch TV?" After a long while, Mo Baichuan finally blurted out this sentence. The situation today was really beyond his expectations. His mind was still in disarray. Yes. Zhao Jingrong nodded. After turning on the TV, the two of them sat on the couch watching TV, even though their thoughts had already drifted far away. Just going through the motion. Upstairs. Mo Qishan and Ni Yang sat in front of the TV playing games, and cheerful laughter echoed from the screen. At dinner time, Lin Pingping specifically came back from work to celebrate Mo Qishan's birthday, and she also brought back a cake. Not only did Lin Pingping come back, but even Song Beiqing returned. After all, Mo Qishan was his uncle. Ni Yang. You're still with my Uncle Six? Seeing Ni Yang, Song Beiqing was surprised. Ni Yang was so beautiful, and Mo Qishan had a bad reputation. He thought their relationship wouldn't last long. Who would have thought? Watch your language. Ni Yang gave him a white glance. Call me sixth aunt. Ni Yang is 9 years younger than him. Calling her aunt, he really couldn't bring himself to do it. Beiqing. Mo Qishan gave him a cold glance. Didn't you hear your sixth aunt's command? Although everyone said his Uncle Six is a good-for-nothing, Song Beiqing felt nervous every time he saw Mo Qishan. Very strange. And this feeling came from the bottom of his heart. Sixth aunt. Under tremendous stress, Song Beiqing finally managed to set it. Good. Ni Yang nodded happily. Hey, isn't that Zhao Jingrong? Why is she with third brother? Only then did Song Beiqing notice Mo Baichuan and Zhao Jingrong. Ni Yang responded lightly, that's your third sister-in-law. Third sister-in-law? Song Beiqing was stunned. Lin Pingping was also stunned. You mean Zhao Jingrong? Zhao Jingrong is with third brother? Song Beiqing eagerly asked. Yes. Ni Yang nodded. Song Beiqing looked stunned. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know to report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 696, Abusing Shengguan Furong, I Want to Divorce You. _4. Oh my gosh. Isn't this a total mess? Lin Pingping followed up, what's going on? Well, Ni Yen raised her eyebrows slightly, Sister Pingping, you should ask the people involved. From an observer's standpoint, there was certainly no love between these two people. It must be a mutual arrangement. But Ni Yen could only speculate and didn't want to say more. Who knew what kind of act these two were putting on? Lin Pingping and Song Beiqing approached them. After finding out that Zhao Jingrong and Mo Baichuan were dating, Lin Pingping and Song Beiqing were genuinely surprised. Song Beiqing quietly pulled Mo Baichuan aside and whispered, Third brother, are you really involved with Zhao Jingrong? Mo Baichuan slightly nodded. Song Beiqing continued, Third brother, don't you think this is somewhat inappropriate? What's inappropriate? Mo Baichuan asked knowingly. Song Beiqing said, Zhao Jingrong, she once had a relationship with Uncle Six. Mo Baichuan remained calm, that's all in the past. Beicheng, don't be so narrow-minded. It was only an engagement, nothing to be concerned about. With Mo Baichuan's words settling the issue, Song Beicheng didn't say anything more, just asking, do uncle and auntie know about this? Mo Baichuan responded, they don't know yet, but I have a way of getting their approval. If Mr. and Mrs. Mo won't object, then Mo Rongping and Xiao Jiao wouldn't stand a chance of doing so. As long as you've thought this through. Song Beicheng patted Mo Baichuan's shoulder. Although Lin Pingping was shocked too, she didn't say much. After all, it was Mo family's affairs and she was just Mrs. Mo's niece. At this point, she deemed it inappropriate to say more. After the meal, everyone sat around conversing. Lin Pingping suggested, the weather's nice today. Why don't we all go to the racetrack for a few laps? Beijing has a large racecourse that caters to the rich for their amusement. The racetrack wasn't far from the Mo family's domicile. Sounds great. Zhao Jingrong nodded in agreement. Equestrianism is an aristocratic sport, so someone like Nin, who hails from the countryside, surely wouldn't know how to ride. Thus, she planned to shine in front of everyone. I also think it's a good idea. Xiao Yingying was naturally playful. Fortunately, Song Beicheng happened to be present today. If she couldn't hook up with Mr. Mog, Song Beicheng was a pretty good choice too. Although he couldn't compare with Mr. Mog, Song Beicheng was the sole descendant of the Song family. Moreover, Song Beicheng was handsome, and from what you could tell, he had great potential. Having an extra spare tire wasn't a bad choice either. Yang, how about you? Lin Pingping looked at Nin. I'm okay with that. It feels like ages since she last rode a horse. What about you, big brother Mo? If you're okay, then I'm okay, Mo Qishan said. Uncle and auntie, would you two want to join the fun? Lin Pingping then turned to Mr. and Mrs. Mo. Even though this old couple was not as young as they used to be. They had experienced real battlefield when they were young. Mrs. Mo glanced at Mr. Mo, why not join in for the fun? Okay, Mr. Mo nodded, it's rare that all the kids are home today. They all headed to the racetrack. Mo Qishan took Nin to change her clothes. Men always change faster than women. When Mo Qishan came out after changing his clothes, Nin was still in the changing room. Soon, everyone met up at the horse arena. At the arena, Mo Baichuan ran into a few classmates, so they all decided to go horse riding together. Of course, the more people, the merrier the horse riding. Mo Qishan led Nin over from the other side. Nin's appearance undoubtedly attracted everyone's attention. She usually dressed in cheongsams, so now dressed in a sleek riding outfit she looked radiant. She radiated majesty and stunning beauty. She was incredibly eye-catching. In her British-style riding outfit, a white shirt with a blue vest, and a pair of leather boots hugging her slender legs, she moved with plenty of gusto. Seeing everyone was staring at his wife, Mo Qishan suddenly regretted agreeing to come to the racetrack. At that moment, all Mo Qishan wanted to do was to fold Nin up like a tortilla, put her in his pocket, and forbid anyone from peeking at her. Xiao Yingying had originally thought she would be the most good-looking one in riding gear, and she had just been parading around in front of everyone, indeed attracting a few gazes. But upon seeing Nin, Xiao Yingying instantly gave up that thought. She even started feeling a bit inferior. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know to report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 697, Abuse Shengguan Furong, I Want to Divorce You. _5. This self-employed woman, really annoying to no end. Zhao Jingrong squinted her eyes. This Ni Yang, lacking in ability, sure knows how to play the part. What use is beauty? Can beauty stand in for equestrian skills? The coach led over a few horses for everyone to choose from. These horses were all raised here by the Mo family. I'll take this one. Zhao Jingrong picked a tall and majestic horse, looking towards Ni Yang, Ni. Ant 6, beginners shouldn't choose horses with too tempestuous a temperament, I think that one might suit you better. Zhao Jingrong pointed at a small pony half the height of a man, continuing, this pony has a gentle temperament, perfect for beginners. Her words seemed to be for Ni Yang's benefit. But in reality, she was mocking Ni Yang. No need. Ni Yang led a black horse by its reins, I can ride. She can ride? Zhao Jingrong felt like she was witnessing a magnificent joke. Ni Yang can ride? This pitiful self-employed woman can ride a horse. Do your bragging somewhere else. Before Zhao Jingrong had a chance to respond, Xiao Yingying jumped in, since Miss Ni can ride, how about a little friendly competition? The spotlight of the horse riding show had been snatched away by Ni Yang, and now, Xiao Yingying was keen to bring it back to herself. Equestrianism, she had trained for. She aimed to defeat Ni Yang. Ni Yang gave a faint smile, looking at Xiao Yingying with sparkling eyes, how do you propose we compete? Xiao Yingying pointed at the racetrack, well, use this as the finish line. We go through these obstacles, first one to reach wins. The obstacles were set in a U-shape. After a full round, the finish line was the same as the starting point. The obstacles were extremely challenging, for ordinary people, it could take 20 minutes to finish. But for Xiao Yingying, 10 minutes was more than enough. When the time comes, she would certainly shine. Okay. Ni Yang nodded slightly. Zhao Jingrong's relationship with Xiao Yingying was quite good, and knowing that Xiao Yingying didn't like Ni Yang either, she was happy to have someone else to suppress Ni Yang together, and purposefully asked, Yingying, how long do you need to get through these obstacles? 10 minutes. Xiao Yingying answered. On hearing this, the surrounding gasped. 10 minutes. If Xiao Yingying truly could complete the obstacles in 10 minutes, she would stand as a woman of gallantry. Ant 6, what about you? Zhao Jingrong looked at Ni Yang. Ni Yang absent-mindedly put on her white gloves, that's hard to say. She hadn't practiced for so long. Zhao Jingrong's eyes were full of mockery. These obstacles weren't easy to get through. When Ni Yang falls off the horse, it will be a fun sight. Are you ready? Let's start. Chapter 698, Abusing Shengguan Furong, I Want to Divorce You. _6. Was that fleeting figure Ni Yang? No way. Xiao Yingying's face turned a bit pale as she spurred her horse to catch up, but the other party was too quick. My God, she jumped over 2 obstacles. She's standing up on the horse. This is too amazing. Everyone had thought that Ni Yang was not adept at riding horses, but this stunning performance was truly a surprise. Even professional coaches might not have such skill. Everyone's eyes were glued to the figure on the field, afraid of missing any exciting part of her performance. Unconsciously, everyone overlooked Xiao Yingying. Because she was simply not in Ni Yang's league. Compared to Ni Yang, she could at best be considered someone who knew how to ride a horse. Ni Yang, on the other hand, had set forth a spectacle that thrilled everyone. Mo Baichuan watched the figure on the field with narrowed eyes. It has to be said, Ni Yang was truly attractive in this state. Zhao Jingrong glanced at Mo Baichuan, her eyes slightly tensed. She had never imagined that Ni Yang would know how to ride a horse. And to master it so incredibly. It really turned out to be a futile attempt. Ni Yang greatly enjoyed this sense of carefree thrill, riding at full speed whilst her adrenaline surged. Before everyone could react, Ni Yang had already crossed 2 deadly turns and reached the finish line. Huh! Ni Yang tightened the reins and directly jumped off the saddle, her flying black hair gracefully scarring the air as she landed. The entire event took her less than 3 minutes. It far outmatched Xiao Yingying's 10 minutes. Good. Old Master Mo led the applause. In response, everyone also started clapping. Ni Yang walked towards Mo Qishan. This competition was undoubtedly a loss for Xiao Yingying. And it was a humiliating loss. She just couldn't figure out how she could lose to a country bumpkin. After the competition, everyone went their own way. Zhao Jingrong had wanted to make Ni Yang embarrass herself further, but after witnessing this, she dared not act rashly. Mo Baichuan's classmate, Shuizhen asked, "Bro, what's that girl's name?" "Don't even think about it, she's my 6th uncle's girlfriend." Mo Baichuan calmly replied. Shuizhen continued, "Such a great girl, is she really into your 6th uncle?" Mo Baichuan did not respond. Yes. With Ni Yang being so outstanding, how could she possibly be interested in Mo Qishan? Shuizhen continued, "Bro, just tell me her name. Once it works out, I'll treat you a drink. Don't daydream." Mo Baichuan glanced at Shuizhen. Even if Ni Yang had ulterior motives with wine, it wouldn't be about Shuizhen. He always has a way to make Ni Yang feel anxious. Mo Baichuan looked up again, only to see Ni Yang had somehow climbed up and was now riding the same horse as Mo Qishan. Ni Yang was sitting in Mo Qishan's embrace and the horse was strolling leisurely in the field. The setting sun cast a gentle layer of golden light over them, creating a beautiful scene. It hurt Mo Baichuan's eyes. It stung a lot. At this moment, Zhao Jingrong held Mo Baichuan's hand. "Baichuan, shall we go horse riding too?" "All right." Mo Baichuan nodded. Time passed quickly, and a month had gone in the blink of an eye. During this time, the weather had become much colder. Today, Shengguan Furong had arranged to go to the movies with her girlfriends. As she was getting ready to leave, a servant handed her a note. "Who gave this to you?" Shengguan Furong frowned. The servant said, "He was wearing a hat, I couldn't see his face clearly, but he seemed quite old." Shengguan Furong nodded, Upon opening the note, it read, "Come to 27 New Village Villas immediately." New Village Villa number 27? Isn't that owned by the Zhao family? What's there? Though Shengguan Furong had initially intended to dismiss the note, curiosity drove her to go to the New Village Villa. The villa's front door was open. Could there be someone inside? Shengguan Furong slightly frowned. She rarely stayed at this villa, though there would be a servant to maintain the place regularly. Perhaps it's one of the servants? Without further thought, Shengguan Furong walked in. The sound of her high heels echoed, clack, clack on the floor. Inside the room, Zhao Shen snapped to attention when he heard the sound. He quickly got out of bed and grabbed the first piece of clothing he could find to put on. "What are you doing?" Lin Fang was awakened by Zhao Shen's sudden movements. Zhao Shen, looking nervous, replied, "I think I heard something." "Could it be Furong? Afraid of her?" Lin Fang sneered. Lin Fang interjected, "Don't worry. It's probably not her. It might be the cleaning crew. Get back under the covers before you catch a cold." "Okay." Zhao Shen seemed soothed and laid back down in bed. Lin Fang snuggled into Zhao Shen's arms, a smug smile playing on her lips. Why wouldn't the person outside be Shengguan Furong? The next second, the door was pushed open. "Squeak, Sister Furong!" Lin Fang shrieked, shooting up from the bed. "Lin Fang?" Shengguan Furong was taken aback. Just then, she noticed clothes strewn all over the floor. Weren't these Zhao Shen's clothes? How come Zhao Shen's clothes are here? Shengguan Furong narrowed her eyes, a sense of dread creeping into her heart. "Lin Fang, what are you doing in my house?" Lin Fang turned pale immediately. She got off the bed, went over to Shangguan Furong and knelt down. Sister Furong, I'm sorry. It's all my fault, I'm to blame. Shen had nothing to do with this, blame me, not him. Lin Fang took all the blame onto herself. Shangguan Furong's face grew paler by the second. She pointed at the bed. Who's in the bed? Lin Fang remained silent. Who is it? Shangguan Furong's voice was near trembling. She grabbed Lin Fang's shoulders. Who is it? Through her tears, Lin Fang replied, Sister Furong, I'm sorry. Yell at me, hit me, anything you want. Is it Zhao Shen? Lin Fang nodded. Shangguan Furong was livid. She could never have imagined that something like this would happen to her. Lin Fang dared to seduce Zhao Shen behind her back. And she thought Lin Fang was a trusted friend. This is how Lin Fang repays her trust and friendship. Slut. Shangguan Furong slapped Lin Fang hard. You slut, I'll kill you. Lin Fang took the hits without fighting back. Sister Furong, kill me if you want to. Just please, don't take it out on Shen. The last sentence stirred a protective instinct in Zhao Shen. He shouldn't let Lin Fang take all the blame. He's a man, he should be the one protecting Lin Fang. He couldn't be a coward anymore. Zhao Shen pushed off the covers, walked up to Shangguan Furong, grabbed her hand and slapped her hard. You're the real slut. I want a divorce. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know to report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 699, It's Too Late for Regrets _1 With the slap, Shangguan Furong's face immediately swelled up. She looked at Zhao Shen, disbelief written all over her face. He had hit her. Zhao Shen had actually hit her. During their marriage of over a decade, there was not a single time when Zhao Shen had ever raised his voice at her, let alone raise his hand. Was she dreaming? Shangguan Furong stood there, unable to believe what was happening right in front of her eyes. Lin Fang looked at Shangguan Furong, a derisive expression on her face hidden well enough. She stood between Shangguan Furong and Zhao Shen. Brother Shen, you can't divorce Sister Furong, all the faults are mine. I let Sister Furong down. It's right that she hit me. Lin Fang's position was very humble. On the surface, she was taking all the blame upon herself. Yet, in reality, she was subtly shifting the blame onto Shangguan Furong. Compared to Lin Fang's empathy, Shangguan Furong's domineering attitude made Zhao Shen opt for her. This has nothing to do with you. Zhao Shen pulled Lin Fang to her feet. Don't worry, I will divorce her and then marry you. What did you say? Shangguan Furong looked up at Zhao Shen. I said, I want a divorce. Zhao Shen said angrily, I've had enough of you, Shangguan Furong. Yes. He's had enough of Shangguan Furong. For all these years, he has listened to Shangguan Furong's decisions. And what has she done? She hasn't been a dutiful daughter-in-law towards her parents-in-law, nor has she attended to the needs of their children. She's been taking his sincerity for granted. No. I want divorce. Zhao Shen, you can't divorce me. Shangguan Furong stood up from the ground and tightly grasped Zhao Shen's arm. She couldn't bear to get a divorce. If she were to get divorced, how would others perceive her? Everyone knows about her powerful status in the Zhao family. Even the old lady Zhao had to consider her opinion at all times. If people found out that Zhao Shen wanted to divorce her for a vixen, how could she live? Zhao Shen looked coldly at Shangguan Furong. Shangguan Furong, this marriage must end. I can't put up with you anymore. For 19 years, think about what you have contributed to this family. Now that things had come to this point, he no longer wanted to hide his relationship with Lin Fang. The time he spent with Lin Fang was joyous, which he had never experienced before. If Lin Fang became the matriarch of the Zhao family, she would undoubtedly outperform Shangguan Furong. Prostitute, overwhelmed with anger, Shangguan Furong pushed Lin Fang to the ground and started beating her. It's all because of you, you slut. Why won't you just die? Lin Fang didn't retaliate. She just wept and said, I'm sorry, Sister Furong, get out of here. Zhao Shen couldn't bear to see Lin Fang being bullied by Shangguan Furong. He shielded Lin Fang behind him and swatted away Shangguan Furong. I don't want to see you anymore. Zhao Shen. Shangguan Furong had never been so humiliated. She had never dreamt that Zhao Shen would betray her. Nor did she expect the old lady Shangguan's words to come true. No. She can't get a divorce. Even if it killed her, she couldn't let Lin Fang benefit. Zhao Shen, I beg you, don't divorce me, okay? Shangguan Furong went over and embraced Zhao Shen. I know I was wrong, I will change, can you please forgive me? Get out. Zhao Shen ruthlessly pushed Shangguan Furong away. The gentleness was gone from his face, he seemed just like a stranger, cold and indifferent. Thrust away by Zhao Shen with such sudden force, Shangguan Furong fell to the ground. The pain was such that she could hardly breathe. She was in great pain. She truly was in great pain. She couldn't understand. How did she and Zhao Shen get to this point? When her gaze turned towards Lin Fang's self-satisfied face, Shangguan Furong's eyes filled with intense hatred. She grabbed a vase nearby and furiously rushed towards Lin Fang. Slut. I will kill you. It was at this moment when she finally realized. From the beginning, Lin Fang had bad intentions. This slut. It was all intentional. Lin Fang's face turned pale and she stepped back, hiding behind Zhao Shen. Zhao Shen raised his hand and held Shangguan Furong's wrist forcefully, warning, Shangguan Furong, I warn you. If you dare harm Lin Fang, they'll make sure you suffer a horrible death. In the past, it was Zhao Shen who gave way to Shangguan Furong. If he truly retaliated, could Shangguan Furong, a mere woman, ever match him? When a man loves you, he can cherish you as a gem. But once he falls out of love, you are worth less than grass to him. Shangguan Furong looked at Zhao Shen. The man felt like a stranger to her now. The pain in her heart was unbearable. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 700, It's Too Late for Regrets _2. Get out. Get out of my sight now. Zhao Shen dragged Shangguan Furong to the front door and slammed it shut. Shangguan Furong collapsed on the ground, her face streaming with tears. Inside the room, Lin Fang spoke nervously, Shen, are we being too harsh on Sister Furong? After all, I'm the one at fault here. I'm the one who did her wrong. Zhao Shen sighed. Lin Fang, you're just too kind-hearted, always taking the blame for everything. This is not your fault. You've done nothing wrong to Shangguan Furong. Don't worry, I'll make sure to explain everything to you. With that said, Zhao Shen took out clothes from the wardrobe and handed them to Lin Fang. Lin Fang accepted the clothes and went to the bathroom to change. When the two of them came out dressed up, Shangguan Furong was still there. She sat on the living room sofa, her expression a mix of desolation, sadness, and perhaps regret. After being married to her for so many years, Zhao Shen looked at Lin Fang with guilt stirring in the depths of his eyes. If he didn't love Lin Fang, he wouldn't have indulged her all these years. Zhao Shen's changing expression didn't escape Lin Fang's observant eyes. Shen, I'll leave you to talk to Sister Furong. I don't want to interrupt you, Lin Fang continued, you've been husband and wife for many years, don't allow me to destroy your harmony. Bang. Just then, a vase shattered at Lin Fang's feet, scattering pieces everywhere. Get out. Shangguan Furong pointed at the door, out. Now. Shangguan Furong, get a hold of yourself. Zhao Shun's rage was ignited in that moment. The one who should be leaving is you. Shun, don't be like this. Lin Fang deliberately stoked the flames. Shengguan Furong grabbed her purse from the coffee table and stood up. Zhao Shun. Don't push me too far. Pushing you too far? Zhao Shun corner of his mouth curled up in mockery. Shengguan Furong, those words should be directed at you, not me. Shengguan Furong did her best to suppress the raging emotions inside her, trying not to cry. Get rid of this cheap woman as quickly as possible. I will never divorce you. If you don't have any shame, Shengguan Furong, still do. Having said her piece, Shengguan Furong picked up her purse and left. The driver outside hasn't left yet. Shengguan Furong got into the car. Take me home. The driver noticed that Shengguan Furong seemed a bit off, but he didn't ask any further. He started the engine and drove away from there. Inside the villa, Zhao Shun looked at Lin Fang. I'll drive you home first. Okay, Lin Fang nodded. The ride was silent. When they reached the base of Lin Fang's apartment building, she said, Shun, you're not really thinking of divorcing Sister Furong, are you? Zhao Shun gripped the steering wheel. It's come to this point. Divorce would be the best outcome for both of us. I'm sorry. Lin Fang gripped Zhao Shun's hand. Shun, I'm sorry. Sister Furong and I are good friends. I really didn't think things would turn out this way. I was content with just being with you, without a title. But I didn't expect Sister Furong to find out so soon. Maybe we should just end it and you can go back to living a good life with Sister Furong. Though Sister Furong has a bit of a temper, she's not a bad person. You are a married couple after all. Lin Fang is retreating in order to advance. The more noble and kind-hearted she appears, the more she could expose the shortcomings of Shengguan Furong. The weaker she is, the more sympathy she will get. Zhao Shun, who had been wavering, now became even more determined. Lin Fang, don't worry, I will take responsibility for you. Zhao family. The car had been parked in front of the villa for quite a while now, yet Shengguan Furong was reluctant to get out. The driver sat in the driver's seat, not daring to say anything. Lady Zhao today seemed a bit strange. Normally at this time, she would be out playing mahjong, but not only is she not out today, she's actually returned home. Did something upset her? Zhao's mother stood on the balcony of the 5th floor, looking at the black car parked below. A faint light glittered in the depths of her otherwise dull eyes. After a moment, she looked up at the sky. Shengguan Furong turned her gaze to her reflection in the car window. She always thought she was a winner in life. Married to her husband for 19 years. Gifted with a pair of lovely children, a kind mother-in-law, and a husband who always followed her advice. But only now she realized just how thoroughly she had lost in life. Otherwise, she wouldn't be left without anyone to talk to when something goes wrong. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know to report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 701, It's Too Late for Regrets _3. She wanted to go back and pour her grievances to Madame Shengguan. But the words she had once argued with Madame Shengguan were still ringing in her ears. She wanted to go and seek help from the misses. But those young misses who had been so envious and jealous of her for her ability to manage her husband, would surely laugh at her if she went there for pity now. All this bitterness, she could only hold in her heart. It was at this time that Shengguan Furong sadly discovered that after all these years, she didn't even have someone to talk to by her side. How ridiculous. Ridiculous. She laughed, and the reflection in the car window laughed with her. After a while, Shengguan Furong finally got out of the car and started walking toward the villa. The servants in the house were surprised when they saw Shengguan Furong. The sun must have risen from the west today. The lady of the house is actually home at this time. Where are Zijuan and Ziqing? Shangguan Furong asked the servants. At this time, the first thing she thought of were her children. She was trying to find some comfort from them. Madam, young master and young miss are doing their homework in the study room. The servant looked up at Shangguan Furong and noticed her swollen face. Was she hit by someone? Who did this? The Shangguan family? It couldn't be the Zhao family. After all, Shangguan Furong was revered like a deity in the Zhao family. Who would dare to provoke her? I see. Shangguan Furong nodded her head and went toward the study room. The study room was on the 4th floor and the door was closed. She could faintly hear the conversation going on inside. Brother, when do you think Auntie Lin Fong can come? This was Zhao Ziking's voice. I don't know. This was Zhao Zijin's voice. Zhao Ziqing put down her pen and looked out the window. I want to eat the dumplings Auntie Lin Fong made. Brother, do you want some? No. Zhao Zijuan answered. Zhao Ziqing laughed. Brother, you're lying. Every time Auntie Lin Fong brings dumplings, you eat the most. And now you say you don't want any. Zhao Zijuan didn't say anything. Zhao Ziqing continued, Brother, do you like Auntie Lin Fong? A child's concept of like is very simple. Whoever treats her well, she will like them. Although Lin Fong had ulterior motives in getting close to them, she at least took some action. Compared to Shangguan Furong who neglected them after giving birth, she found it easier to accept Lin Fong. Zhao Ziqing added, I really like Auntie Lin Fong. Last time, Auntie Lin Fong even helped me review my homework. I wish Auntie Lin Fong was our mother. Upon hearing this, Shangguan Furong couldn't hold back her sorrow any longer. She started crying heavily. Her tears fell like pearls off a broken string. Don't talk nonsense. Zhao Zijuan, being older, was more composed. We have a mother. But she doesn't like us, and I don't like her either. Zhao Ziqing complained, I want Auntie Lin Fong to be my mother. Zhao Zijuan sighed and passed the pen to Zhao Ziqing, finish your homework. Just then, the door to the study room was suddenly pushed open. Bang! The twins, who were doing their assignments, were startled. They stood up, looked at Shangguan Furong in bewilderment. Shangguan Furong was crying heavily, her face twisted in pain. What were you two just saying? I am your mother. Only I am. That Lin Fong. She is just a shameless bitch. It was I who carried you for 9 months. It was I who gave birth to the two of you after so much pain. You two ungrateful brats, do you even have a conscience left? Shangguan Furong's voice grew louder with each word, tearing the books on the table into shreds, smashing all the decorations on the floor, behaving like a madwoman. At that moment, she felt a deep sense of desolation hitting at her heart. Nobody could possibly understand how it feels when the child she had carried for 10 months and then given birth to, recognized someone else as her mother. Why? Why were they treating her like this? The two siblings were terrified by Shangguan Furong's current state, staying motionless in shock. Their sobs were incessant. Especially Zhao Ziqing, her face had even turned white with fear. Ziqing, don't be afraid. Brother will protect you. Zhao Zijuan pulled Zhao Ziqing behind him. Despite the shivers that racked his small body, he choked out, Mom, we're sorry, we were wrong. Please, don't be angry. Bad mother. I don't want you. I want Auntie Lin Fong. Daddy, help. Grandma, help. Auntie Lin Fong. Zhao Ziqing started bawling. Panic-stricken, Zhao Zijuan hurriedly covered Ziking's mouth. What did you just say? What were you saying? Shangguan Furong grabbed Ziqing, seething with rage, I am your mother. Only I am. Lin Fong is a slut. She's a whore. She's shameless. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know to report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Zhao Shen put down his briefcase. Old Lady Zhao glanced at Zhao Shen. Sit. Okay. Zhao Shen nodded, pulling out a chair and sitting down. Old Lady Zhao took a bite of the cold food. How do you plan to handle the situation with Lin Fang? Zhao Shen said, I want a divorce from Shengguan Furong, and to marry Lin Fang. After an afternoon's consideration, Zhao Shen felt that he could not wrong Lin Fang. Just because Lin Fang was kind didn't mean she deserved to be bullied. Are you sure? Old Lady Zhao looked up at Zhao Shen. Zhao Shen was very determined. Yes, I've decided. Lin Fang is kind and dignified, I want to be with her. Before Old Lady Zhao could respond, a disheveled Shengguan Furong walked over from the other side. I don't agree. I want divorce you. If you want a divorce, it'll happen over my dead body. Otherwise, she wasn't stepping aside for that wretch of a woman. That wretch thought she could replace her and marry Zhao Shen. That would never happen. In just a few hours, Shengguan Furong seemed to have aged more than a decade. Her eyes were swollen and red, and her face was without a trace of color. Compared to Zhao Shen, it was as though nothing had happened to him. This was the disparity between men and women. Furong, our relationship has already come to this. What's the point of not divorcing? I don't care, I'll never divorce you. Having said that, Shengguan Furong turned and made for the stairs. Old Lady Zhao sighed. After all, she is the mother of the two kids. The family splitting up was not the result Old Lady Zhao hoped for. This marriage cannot continue. Zhao Shen's attitude was very firm. I cannot let Lin Fang suffer. Shengguan Furong, unwilling to divorce, locked herself in her room for days and wouldn't speak to anyone. Ever since the situation had come to light, Zhao Shen had become increasingly brazen, often bringing Lin Fang to the Zhao family villa, and would occasionally spend the night. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know to report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 703, It's Too Late for Regrets _5. Lin Fang was very good at making children happy. She often made Zhao Ziqing burst into laughter. Shengguan Furong stood on the third floor watching everything downstairs, her gaze icy cold, as tears fell one after another. That was her child. The flesh of her womb that she carried for 10 months. By what right did this despicable woman steal her away? Mom, sister is young and doesn't know better, don't blame her. A pair of small hands grasped Shengguan Furong's hand. Zhao Zijuan was only 10 years old, he didn't know how to comfort Shengguan Furong. Shengguan Furong coldly flung Zhao Zijian's hand away. Get lost. I'm not your mom. Aren't you all just wishing for me to die sooner, to make way for that woman? Let me tell you. I won't let you have your wish. Never. Shengguan Furong clenched her hand tightly, turned and walked into the bedroom, slamming the door with a bang. Mom, Zhao Zijuan choked on the word mom, sobbing without a sound. He didn't know what to do. Downstairs, Lin Fang looked at the closed bedroom door and hooked up the corner of her mouth in a victorious smile. A few months ago, Shengguan Furong was as proud as a peacock, and now? Just a few days? How the tables have turned. It's her turn to be the lady of the house. Ziqing, do you like Auntie? Lin Fang squatted down and looked at Zhao Ziqing. Yes. Zhao Ziqing nodded her head. Lin Fang continued, would it be okay if Auntie becomes your mom? Yes. I would love Auntie to be my mom. Zhao Ziqing nodded her head excitedly. Ziqing. Don't talk nonsense. Zhao Zijuan came over and grabbed Zhao Ziqing's hand. Zhao Ziqing broke free from Zhao Zijian's grip, wrapped her arms around Lin Fang's waist. "I really like Auntie Lin Fang." Zhao Zijuan burst into tears. "You're making Mom very upset. You're not my sister. I don't have a sister like you." He was after all just a 10-year-old child, and at this moment, other than crying, he had no other way to cope. Zhao Ziqing was frightened by this. She hurriedly went over to Zhao Zijuan. "Brother, don't be angry, I won't have Auntie Lin Fang be my mom anymore." The moment Lin Fang heard these words, her face turned ashen. Those two ungrateful brats. She had fed them for so long for nothing. After all, they were not as good as her own. She needed to find a way to marry Zhao Shen sooner, move to the Zhao family's house, then figure out how to make Changyu change her surname to Zhao, and enter the Zhao family's genealogy. And then get rid of these two little beasts. Lin Fang narrowed her eyes. The 24th of the lunar December was the eve of the Lunar New Year. Shengguan Furong unusually appeared in the Zhao family living room, dressed up beautifully, and even made breakfast. Old Madame Zhao looked at her in surprise. "Furong, you..." Shengguan Furong smiled and said, "Mom, I've come to my senses, am willing to divorce Zhao Shen." She wore a thick layer of makeup on her face, cleverly concealing her dark circles and fatigue. For a moment, that glamorous Shengguan Furong seemed to have returned. Being a daughter-in-law for many years, old Madame Zhao found it difficult to let go. "Actually, there's absolutely no need for you two to reach this point." Shengguan Furong didn't respond to old Madame Zhao's words, but continued, "But I still want to spend my last Lunar New Year with the Zhao family. After the New Year, I will set Zhao Shen free, and also, please don't tell my mom and my brother about this. I want them to have a good Lunar New Year." Old Madame Zhao sighed. "Furong, have you really made up your mind?" Shengguan Furong nodded her head. Zhao Shen was standing at the door with Lin Fang. Hearing Shengguan Furong's composed words, he felt a little uneasy in his heart. Lin Fang was feeling extremely satisfied. Wonderful. Finally, Shengguan Furong agreed to the divorce. Soon she would become the lady of the Zhao family. At that moment, Shengguan Furong turned to look at Zhao Shen. "Zhao Shen, I hope not to see this despicable woman in the final days of the year. Please make her disappear for a few days. After I leave, you are free to be with her for as long as you wish. But right now, I'm not dead, I still have a breath in me." Shengguan Furong maintained her composure throughout. So calm that it was frightening. Zhao Shen sighed, turned his head and looked at Lin Fang. Lin Fang feigned strength and raised a smile. "Brother Shen, I'll leave first then." Zhao Shen couldn't bear to see kind-hearted Lin Fang feel aggrieved, and quickly ran after her. Outside the villa, Zhao Shen held Lin Fang's hand and said, "Lin Fang, let's endure a little longer. After the New Year, I'll marry you." Lin Fang hugged Zhao Shen. "Brother Shen, even if you don't marry me, it's okay. Being with you for such a long time, I've been very content." Hit a snake at its 7 inches, Lin Fang had now mastered where Zhao Shen's 7 inches was. If you find any errors, ads pop-up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know to report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 704, It's Too Late for Regrets _6. Rest assured. I will definitely marry you. Zhao Shen promised. Lin Fang did not say much, she just said, "Then I'll go back first. I will come to find you after the New Year." Returning to the villa once again, the tranquility seemed to have returned. Shengguan Furong looked at Zhao Shen and said, "Before the divorce, I have one more condition." "You say?" He had been married to Shengguan Furong for many years and he would satisfy whatever condition Shengguan Furong had. Shengguan Furong went on, "Today is the 24th of the small year. My brother and sister-in-law must have returned home. I want you to accompany me back to my mother's house. We used to go back on this day every year. I don't want to cause any suspicion. All right. Zhao Shen nodded, then, I'll let Zijuan and Ziqing know. Shortly, the family of 4 arrived at the Shangguan residence by car. As Shangguan Furong had said, Ni Tsuehua and Shangguan Dehui were both at home, and their children were there too. The Shangguan residence was bustling. Auntie and uncle, you're here. Shangguan Shi took the gift from Zhao Shen. Zhao Zijuan and Zhao Ziqing excitedly ran towards Ni Yun, sister. If it were in the past, Shangguan Furong would have been very unhappy. But today, Shangguan Furong was not only unhappy, but she was also smiling. Brother, sister-in-law. Shangguan Furong greeted Shangguan Dehui and Ni Tsuehua. Shangguan Dehui and Ni Tsuehua were both taken aback. Shangguan Furong had always made no secret of her dislike of Ni Tsuehua. But today, Shangguan Furong seemed like a different person. There was not a trace of scorn in her eyes. During these days, Shangguan Furong had thought about many things. She had been wrong in the past. She only cared about her own pride, without considering the feelings of others. She was also the one who had been too meddlesome, almost ruining the good marriage between Shangguan Dehui and Ni Tsuehua. Furong. Ni Tsuehua looked at Shangguan Furong in surprise. Shangguan Furong continued, sister-in-law, this is the bird's nest and hazma that I brought especially for you. They are very nourishing for women. Thank you. Ni Tsuehua didn't know what to say for a moment. The old lady Shangguan looked at Shangguan Furong with a heartwarming expression in her eyes. Great! In her lifetime, she finally saw Shangguan Furong become sensible. Sister-in-law, I was immature in the past, please don't hold it against me. The past is the past, Furong, don't think too much about it. Ni Tsuehua comforted her. Looking at Ni Tsuehua, Shangguan Furong suddenly felt urged to cry. Ni Tsuehua was such a good person. But she had treated her that way in the past. She regretted it, truly regretted. Unfortunately, her realizations came too late. Shangguan Furong walked over to Ni Yang. Aunt. Ni Yang barely lifted her eyes, she could feel that Shangguan Furong had changed quite a bit. With a smile, Shangguan Furong said, can you come with me for a while? Okay. Ni Yang nodded, following Shangguan Furong to the study on the 2nd floor. As soon as they entered the study, Shangguan Furong bowed deeply to Ni Yang. Yang, I'm sorry. Aunt, don't do this, I'm the younger one. Ni Yang hurriedly helped Shangguan Furong up. Shangguan Furong went on to say, I know that a bow can hardly make up for the harm I've caused you, but now, all I can do is apologize. She had done too many wrong things. No one is perfect and can avoid making mistakes, as the saying goes. Whatever happened has already passed, so let it be, continued Ni Yang. We must look forward in life. Shangguan Furong nodded in agreement, Yang, you're right, we should always look forward. Ni Yang sensed that something seemed off about Shangguan Furong today. Auntie, have you encountered any problems recently? No, Shangguan Furong shook her head and denied it with a laugh. At the Zhao family, everyone treats me with respect. What kind of problems could I possibly encounter? Her status within the Zhao family was evident to all. But Ni Yang continued, you seem a bit off today. Maybe I didn't get enough sleep, Shangguan Furong yawned, I've been staying up late playing mahjong with my lady friends. Please take care of your health, Auntie, Ni Yang said. Emichim. Shangguan Furong nodded in response. Ni Yang went on, if anything bothers you, you may tell Grandma or us. Don't hold it all in by yourself. Smiling, Shangguan Furong responded, I will, Yang, thank you. Thank you for putting the past behind us. After lunch, the oldest Shangguan was taking care of little Ni Yun while Shangguan Shi and Ni Yang were outside building snowmen with the Zhao siblings, Zijuan and Ziqing. In December, a thick layer of snow covered the outdoors. Shengguan Furong and Zhao Shen were chatting with Shengguan Dehui and Ni Tsuehua. Shengguan Furong increasingly felt that the old lady Shengguan was right in their previous conversation. Ni Tsuehua was excellent indeed. She and Shengguan Dehui were equals, none superior to the other. How come she had never noticed before? Shengguan Furong suggested, "We now have 4 people here, should we play some mahjong?" "Sure, good idea." Zhao Shen had no objections since he was accustomed to following Shengguan Furong's advice. This version of Shengguan Furong was indeed endearing. If Shengguan Furong had always been like this, they would not have arrived at the idea of divorce. Ni Tsuehua admitted somewhat awkwardly, "I don't know how to play mahjong. Shall we ask Mom to join in?" She spent any free time studying, leaving no time for mahjong. "That's okay, I can teach you," offered Shengguan Dehui, who was next to her. Shengguan Furong smilingly added, "Indeed, let my brother teach you." Ni Tsuehua was quick to learn. Chapter 705, Shocking Change _1 In the living room, the elderly Madame Shengguan was holding fireworks, preparing to go outside and set them off with everyone else. Upon hearing the news, the fireworks in her hand dropped to the ground with a thud. "What happened?" Madame Shengguan asked. Shengguan, she was crying, not knowing how to speak. From her youth to adulthood, she had never encountered such a situation. What on earth happened? Madame Shengguan's face turned pale with urgency. The more anxious she felt, the harder it was to talk. It felt like something was stuck in her throat. "Sister Xiaoxi, don't panic, take your time." Ni Yang walked over to Shengguan Shi, holding her hand and comforting her in a low voice. "There's an acupoint on the hand called the Laogong acupoint. When someone is highly stressed, lightly pressing the Laogong acupoint can relieve stress and calm the mind." The place that Ni Yang was pressing was exactly the Laogong acupoint. Gradually calming down, Shengguan Shi said, "Grandma, Aunt had an accident." "What happened to her?" old Madame Shengguan asked urgently. She's threatening to jump off a building with Zijuan and Ziqing." "What?" Shengguan Dehui and Ni Tsuehua happened to walk in from outside at that moment. Their smiles froze on their faces, as if their blood was running in reverse. Madame Shengguan couldn't catch her breath and almost fainted. Luckily, Ni Yang caught her in time. Quick! Let's get to Furong's house." The Shengguan family's home was only 5 minutes away from the Zhao family's, but for the people in the car, those 5 minutes felt longer than 50 minutes, 5 hours, even 5 years. Madame Shengguan cried, "When I visited last time, I noticed that something was wrong with that child. She told me many things, told me to take care of my health, not to eat sweets, to take my heart medication on time. I should have realized it earlier. I should have." Madame Shengguan originally thought that Shengguan Furong was just maturing. She never dreamed that Shengguan Furong could do such a foolish thing. "Mother, please calm down," Ni Tsuehua comforted, "Furong will be okay. She will be, I am sure of it." Before long, the car stopped in front of the Zhao family's villa. The butler immediately came out to welcome them. "Madam, sir, you're here. The mistress and master are upstairs. Please follow me." "What on earth happened?" asked Shengguan Dehui, his face cold. Although Shengguan Furong was domineering and strong-willed, she would never seek death so easily, especially not with 2 children involved. The butler heaved a sigh. He was at a loss as to how to explain the situation to Shengguan Dehui. "Please go up and try to reason with the madam. The young master and miss, they are innocent. They are still just children." Madame Shengguan had cried herself weak and collapsed helplessly into Ni Yang's arms. "What sin have I committed that I am being punished by the heavens like this?" The Zhao's villa was like a palace with 10 floors in total. Shengguan Furong and the two children were sitting on the open-air balcony on the top floor. Zhao Shun and old lady Zhao stood nearby. The elderly Mrs. Zhao tried to hold back her tears. "Furong, take the children and come down. Let's talk things over, don't do anything foolish, okay?" Zhao Shun took a tentative step forward. "Furong, come down. As long as you come down, I promise anything. We won't divorce. Is that alright? Don't come any closer." Shengguan Furong moved closer to the edge of the balcony with the children. Okay, I won't come closer. Just, don't do anything rash. Don't be rash." Zhao Shun took a step back. He never thought things would come to this. He didn't imagine that when Shengguan Furong said she wanted a divorce after the new year, she meant to take their two children and die. After carrying a pregnancy for 10 months and giving birth. How could she bear to choose death for the two children? Just then, Shengguan Furong looked towards the top floor exit, her eyes lit up. "Mom, brother, sister-in-law, you're here." Furong. Ni Tsuhua covered her mouth in terror. "Furong! Furong!" Madame Shengguan cried as she lunged forward. "Furong, what are you doing? Mom, don't come over." Shengguan Furong moved back again with the children. There were no railings behind them. If they moved any further, she and the children would fall off. 40 meters from the 10th floor. If they were to fall, the consequences would be unimaginable. "Grandma, stay calm and stay back." Ni Yang pulled Madame Shengguan back. Old lady Zhao saw the Shengguans had arrived, and as if seeing a lifeline, pleaded, "Elder sister, you're finally here. Help me reason with Furong, don't let her do anything foolish." Zhao Shun said, "Mom. Brother. Help me reason with Furong. As long as she doesn't do anything foolish, I can agree to anything she asks for. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know to report so we can fix it as soon as possible." Chapter 706, Shocking Change _2. Heh. Shengguan Furong cried with a laugh, crying crocodile tears. "The Zhao family must be wishing me dead, so you could clear the way for that adulterous woman, right?" These words carried a heavy burden of truth. The expressions on Zhao Shun and old lady Zhao's faces changed immediately. What exactly is going on? Old lady Shengguan looked at old lady Zhao and Zhao Shun. Old lady Zhao remained silent. Shame was written all over Zhao Shun's face. How could they even begin to explain? Right now, Shengguan Dehui had no interest in dealing with Zhao Shun and old lady Zhao. He was slowly moving towards the balcony, extending his hand towards Shengguan Furong. "Furong, don't be afraid. Your brother is here. He'll handle this for you. Even if the sky fell down now, I would hold it up for you. Will you give your hand to your brother, please?" Shengguan Furong hastily retreated. "Brother, don't come any closer. If you do, he'll jump." "Alright, I'm not moving, don't get agitated." Shengguan Dehui halted his steps and tried to speak in a light tone. "Did Zhao Shun bully you? Tell your brother and he'll stand up for you." Shengguan Furong's face was streaked with tears. "Brother, I'm sorry. I don't want to live anymore. Living has no meaning." Shengguan Dehui dared not upset her further, continuing, "Furong, you are still young, your best days are still ahead. You still have me, and mother, and the two lovely children Zijuan and Ziqing. How could life have no meaning? If there are any issues, come down first and let's talk about it seriously. If you die, what about mother? Can you bear to let her suffer the heartbreak of burying her own child? Anyway, every man must die, sooner or later it's all the same. When I die, brother, remember to comfort mother. She shouldn't have to grieve for an unfilial daughter like me." At these words, Shengguan Furong looked up at Zhao Shun. "Zhao Shun, when I die, you'll be free. Are you happy now? I have been married into the Zhao family for 19 years, thinking I had a loving mother-in-law, a husband who always put me first, and 2 smart and lovely children. At this point, a sneer appeared at the corner of her mouth, and in the end? In the end, I have nothing. I am just a fool who has been used by others. A daughter-in-law could be replaced. A husband could remarry. The children could have a new mother. Her existence was negligible. Looking back at these 19 years, it was all like a puff of smoke that dissipated instantly. Shengguan Furong continued, I won't take anything that doesn't belong to me. But Zijuan and Ziqing are my flesh and blood. I must take them with me. They will never be left to you and that adulterous woman. The children are hers. She carried them for 10 months in her womb. Lin Fang is a wicked woman. If she leaves the children to her, they'd surely not have a good life. It's better to take them along. That way, they can be together in the afterlife. It was then that Zhao Shen noticed the red wedding dress Shengguan Furong was wearing, the dress they wore on their wedding day 19 years ago. 19 years had passed, but the red dress was still brilliantly bright. Now, everything had changed. Just as Shengguan Furong had said, she did not take a single thing from the Zhao family. It seemed she truly was determined to die and take the 2 children with her. Thinking about this, Zhao Shen's heart ached. No. Zhao Shen pleaded, Furong, I beg you. Zijuan and Ziqing are still young, they are innocent, it's me who failed you. Come down, we won't divorce, we will live happily together from now on, get lost. Shengguan Furong's mood suddenly became explosive. Zhao Shen. Do you think I'm a 3-year-old child? Stop pretending in front of me. The children are mine. None of you can take them away from me. Furong, don't be rash. Shengguan Dehui walked up to Zhao Shen, tell me everything from start to finish, from today onward, I won't let you face this alone. If it's truly the Zhao family who wronged you, I will tear their family apart to get you justice. The daughters of the Shengguan family, we would never let anyone take advantage of them. Hearing this, Zhao Shen felt a sudden dread. All these days had passed, he had even forgotten that Shengguan Furong had the support of the Shengguan family. When Shengguan Dehui was young, he was notorious for his recklessness. The color drained from old lady Zhao's face. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know to report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 707, Shocking Change _3. Brother. Suddenly, Shengguan Furong burst into tears, it's all my fault, I didn't listen to Mom. I let the wolves into our house by getting Zhao Shen involved with that bitch Lin Fang. It really was Lin Fang. The old lady Shengguan's face tightened. Zhao Shen. You bastard. Shengguan Dehui punched Zhao Shen directly. Zhao Shen's head swerved, fell to the ground. Shengguan Dehui didn't stop there, he grabbed Zhao Shen by the collar, pinned him against the wall, and continued to beat him. Zhao Shen was no match for the robust Shengguan Dehui, in an instant his face swelled and his vision blurred with stars. Old lady Zhao panicked, stop. Stop. Spare him, uncle. If you keep going, you might kill him. Shengguan Dehui pushed old lady Zhao away, his life matters, but my sister's doesn't? If anything happens to my sister today, it'll make him pay with his life. Old lady Zhao began crying in a panic, looking from Shengguan Furong to Zhao Shen. Finally, she clutched at the sleeve of the old lady Shengguan, sister, please tell uncle to stop. An eye for an eye, you're worried about your son, but what about my daughter? Who's concerned about her? Old lady Shengguan looked at Shengguan Furong with teary eyes, Furong, come down, please, don't do anything foolish. How will I live if something happens to you? Mom, I'm sorry, I really can't go on living. She couldn't go on. Once, everyone knew Shangguan Furong had married into a good household, she was held in the highest regard. Now, she was just a joke. She couldn't bear the judgmental stares of others. She couldn't bear the sudden betrayal of Zhao Shen. She couldn't stand Lin Fang taking over her place. Death seemed to be the only way out. She would be free with death. At this moment, Ni Yang entered the scene, and, no obstacle in life is insurmountable. Please, come down. Don't make Grandma worry. Look, isn't my dad taking revenge for you right now? Yang, you don't understand. Shangguan Furong shook her head. Ni Yang pressed on, Auntie, do you think death is freeing? It's not, death is merely the beginning of pain. From what I've heard from some elders, people who commit suicide bear enormous sins. Not only will they not be reincarnated, but their souls will also replay their suicide, enduring the pain time and again, indefinitely. When a person is teetering on the edge of death, they may wonder if there is a heaven or hell in this world. Ni Yang's absurd words roused Shangguan Furong's attention. Ni Yang carefully observed Shangguan Furong's expression while saying, Aunt, Zijuan and Ziqing are just children, unaware of the world. Can you bear to see them endure such pain? Shangguan Furong replied, It's me they will die with. If God must punish someone, let him punish me. The children have nothing to do with this. Ni Yang continued, But you are their mother, your wish represents theirs as well. God won't spare them just because they are children. Shangguan Furong fell silent for a moment, holding the children closer to her. She was starting to waver. At that moment, Ni Yang spoke again, Aunt, don't you want to get revenge? Revenge? Shangguan Furong looked at Ni Yang, revenge for what? Ni Yang said, Think about who did this to you. It was Lin Fang. That bitch Lin Fang. Shangguan Furong yelled. So, you must keep living. Only by living can you take revenge. Ni Yang continued, Death is like a flickering lamp, extinguished in an instant. In the beginning, the Zhao family may feel guilty, but as time passes, they will forget you. Then Zhao Shen will marry Lin Fang. As for the children, they are young, they can have more. At that point, who will remember you? Who will remember Zijuan or Ziqing? Ni Yang's words penetrated to the core, each syllable a tearful plea. The color drained from Shangguan Furong's face. Seeing her wavering, Ni Yang seized the opportunity, continuing, Aunt, while you're here, crying your heart out, planning to jump with Zijuan and Ziqing, Lin Fang might be at home feasting and celebrating. Why should we let ourselves suffer and make it easier for others? Yang, is what you're saying true? Shangguan Furong asked. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know to report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 708, Shocking Change _4. Ni Yang nodded, Of course it's true. Lin Fang, as the third party, definitely wants you dead. Only when you're dead, can she usurp your place with a clear conscience. At this point, Ni Yang paused, then added, Auntie, get a divorce. Times are different now. You can still live well after a divorce. Look at my mother, look at Sister Ping Ping, look at Aunt Ni, which of them lives worse than women with families? You're knowledgeable, educated, and capable, in what way are you inferior to Lin Fang? Zhao Shen having an affair with Lin Fang is his lack of insight, his loss. You should live on, live beautifully, and make them regret it. As Ni Yang spoke, she began to walk towards Shangguan Furong. Shangguan Furong had already let her guard down. But what about Zijuan and Ziqing? Will you leave them with the Zhao family? No. I won't agree. Zijuan and Ziqing are my flesh and blood. Shangguan Furong's emotions, which had only just calmed down, suddenly stirred up again. Ni Yang halted her steps, then said, "In this marriage, Zhao Shen is at fault. According to the marriage law, when one of the spouses cheats, the child is not awarded to the guilty party." "Really?" Shangguan Furong asked. "Really," Ni Yang nodded. "Auntie, give your hand to me." Ni Yang carefully reached out to Shangguan Furong. Shangguan Furong handed Zhao Zijuan to Ni Yang. Just then, old Madame Zhao and Zhao Shen came over, intending to take away Zhao Zijuan and Zhao Ziqing. Shangguan Furong suddenly pulled the child back. "Don't come over. None of you come over." Shangguan Dehui and old Madame Shangguan immediately held back the two. Shangguan Dehui said, "Furong, rest assured, Mom and I are here. We'll help you keep an eye on them. We won't come over." Old Madame Zhao and Zhao Shen were very anxious. The children are of the Zhao family, how could they let Shangguan Furong take them away? But they were afraid of further upsetting Shangguan Furong. Upon seeing their hesitation, Shangguan Furong calmed down and handed Zhao Zijuan back again. Both Zhao Zijuan and Zhao Ziqing were so groggy from the sleeping pills they had been given. With a child in each arm, Ni Yang looked at Shangguan Furong. "Auntie, come down too, quickly come down." Shangguan Furong slowly rose from the balcony, her hair tousled by the cold wind. Behind her, countless fireworks were being set off. Such a sight might have signaled a happy family reunion. It was ironic indeed. A look of sadness hooked the corners of Shangguan Furong's mouth. She didn't want to go through all this either. She hadn't wanted it to come to this point. "Auntie." Ni Yang was a little worried about her. "Shoo," Shangguan Furong put her index finger to her lips, making a silence gesture. "Don't speak." Ni Yang nodded obediently. Shangguan Furong then said, Yang, move back." Ni Yang moved backwards, holding the children. Shangguan Shi and Ni Tsuihua immediately came over to take over the children. Old Madame Zhao and Zhao Shen wanted to take away the children, but were stopped by Ni Tsuihua. "Get lost. You have no right to touch the children." Seeing Ni Tsuihua so fiercely protective of Zhao Zijuan and Zhao Ziqing, a look of relief flickered in Shangguan Furong's eyes. Family would always be family. Although she had originally treated Ni Tsuihua so poorly, Ni Tsuihua still stood by her side at this moment. Then she looked at Zhao Shen and old Madame Zhao. Once they found out the two children were safe, they didn't care about her at all. "Furong, come down quickly." Old Madame Shangguan, seeing Shangguan Furong stand up again, could feel her heart squeeze painfully. "Furong, come down, brother will take you home." "I can't go back, brother, I'll still be your sister in my next life." With her last words, Shangguan Furong spread her arms, leaning backwards. "Furong. Auntie." Just then, Ni Yang, swift and nimble, rushed forward, grabbing Shangguan Furong's wrist. Due to the sudden force, Shangguan Furong was pulled along, her body hanging in midair as she managed to grab onto a protruding decoration on the edge of the balcony. The two of them hung in midair, creating a chilling spectacle. Yang. Ni Tsuihua, scared, collapsed on her knees. Shangguan Dehui reacted fastest, running over and grabbing Ni Yang's wrist. But his own strength was not enough to pull both of them up. He looked back at the others. "Quick, come help." At that moment, hearing the news, Shangguan Su rushed in from the entrance. "Dad. Quick, come and help." Shangguan Dehui's veins on his arm stood out as he strained. Source: Web Novel. Com, updated on Envgo. Co. If you find any errors, ads pop-up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know to report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 709, Shocking Change _5. Shangguan Su ran over, taken aback, immediately started helping Shangguan Dehui pull the person up. Shangguan Furong, looking at Ni Yang who was desperately holding onto her wrist, gently closed her eyes. Yang, thank you. But I'm sorry. I can't endure such humiliation in my life. From the moment Zhao Shen cheated on her, she couldn't bear to live anymore. Her self-esteem wouldn't allow her to barely survive in this world. However, Ni Yang's words also made her realize in time that the child was innocent, and she shouldn't take the child with her. She felt assured to leave the child with Shangguan's elderly matriarch. Shangguan Furong slowly broke free of Ni Yang's hand, her body plummeting down like a kite with a broken string. Ni Yang turned pale. Aunt Furong. Shangguan Dehui cried out in despair. The father and son hurriedly pulled Ni Yang up and then ran downstairs in a rush. The lights downstairs were brightly lit. Quickly call 120. Quickly call 120. Zhao's elderly matriarch urgently ordered the servant. What? You guys didn't call 120 for help earlier? Shangguan Dehui grabbed Zhao Shen's collar. Under normal circumstances, they would call 120 for help first. Shangguan Dehui and the others had arrived in such a hurry that they hadn't noticed that the Zhao family hadn't called the police or dialed 120. Zhao Shen stammered, "Brother, calm down, because today, the Zhao family was a prominent and renowned family and wouldn't report such a shameful incident to the police. Alerting the police would mean making it public. It's New Year's Eve today, isn't it inviting ridicule? Rich and influential families, who value their reputation the most, would rather cover it up than report it. Besides, at that time, Zhao Shen and Zhao's old lady didn't expect Shangguan Furong to actually jump off the building. They thought, as long as the Shangguan family came, Shangguan Furong would stop making a scene. They didn't expect she would still jump. To hell with staying calm. Shangguan Dehui punched Zhao Shen. If anything happens to Furong today, you won't live either. Shangguan Dehui, who had been good-natured for many years, cursed for the first time today. After he finished speaking, Shangguan Dehui ran out of the door. Shangguan Furong lay on the ground, a large pool of blood spreading on the ground, dyeing the thick snow red, absolutely horrifying. The air was filled with a heavy scent of blood. Shangguan's elderly matriarch didn't dare to move Shangguan Furong, afraid of inflicting secondary injuries, crying out, "Furong, my poor child. God! If you want to punish someone, punish me, why do you have to torment my child? Aunt!" Shangguan she also knelt on the ground, crying. Ni Yang ran out from the inner room. "Make way." Seeing Ni Yang, everyone seemed to see hope and immediately made way for her. Ni Yang placed the first aid box on the ground, first checked Shangguan Furong's pupils, then put her hand on Shangguan Furong's wrist. In her downcast eyes, a faint glint flashed. They had thought that since Shangguan Furong had lost so much blood, it was mostly a bad outlook, but surprisingly, Shangguan Furong might have been lucky after all. Meanwhile, Ni Yang also let out a sigh of relief, opened the medical box, and started administering first aid to Shangguan Furong. Here, Zhao's elderly matriarch whispered to Zhao Shen, "Shenbao, I think the Shangguan family won't let this go lightly this time, you should run first." "Mom, I'm not running." Zhao's elderly matriarch sighed, "Silly boy, if you don't run now, are you waiting for Shangguan Dehui to kill you?" Shangguan Dehui was a troublemaker in his youth. What can't he do? Zhao's elderly matriarch was genuinely scared now. Shangguan Dehui had just beaten Zhao Shen half to death and now with Shangguan Furong, he definitely wouldn't let Zhao Shen go. Zhao Shen was her only son, she couldn't just stand by and watch Zhao Shen get into trouble. "If I run, what happens to you?" Zhao Shen looked at Zhao's elderly matriarch. Things have come to this pass, and he too was very afraid. No one born as a human doesn't cherish his life. And he knew Shangguan Dehui too well. He knew that Shengguan Dehui would definitely fight him to death. Zhao's elderly matriarch continued, I'm already old, they wouldn't dare to do anything to me, an old lady. You run first, wait until this blows over. Run fast. Leave from the back door. Yes, take more money. Zhao's elderly matriarch took out all the cash from her body and gave it to Zhao Shen, then took off her gold bracelets, gold necklace, gold earrings and other jewelry and stuffed them to Zhao Shen. Shenbao, listen to your mom, don't come back for a short time, and don't call me. While they're still there, hurry up and go. Don't look back. Source, web novel. Com, updated on Envgo. Co. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know to report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 710, Shocking Change _6. Zhao Shen took the items handed to him by old Mrs. Zhao. Mom, I'll go first. Please take care of yourself at home. Old Mrs. Zhao nodded, her eyes full of tears. What kind of sin had she committed to let her family become like this? Old Mrs. Zhao wiped the tears from her face and warned the servants in a low voice, don't utter a word about what just happened. Yes, madam, the servants nodded in response. Meanwhile, Ni Yang first bandaged Shengguan Furong's head wound, then took out 3 silver needles and punctured them into 3 of Furong's main acupuncture points. He looked up to Shengguan Dehui, Dad, did you call 120? I did, replied Shengguan Dehui. How is your aunt? After asking this question, everything became quiet, even the crying stopped. Ni Yang said, don't worry, aunt is fine. She's fine? At this, old Mrs. Shengguan immediately questioned, Yang, you aren't lying, are you? Is your aunt really all right? Her voice was choking with sobbing. Grandma, I'm not lying. Aunt is really fine. Ni Yang held her hand. But she lost so much blood and is still unconscious. Ni Yang paused before continuing, Aunt is 2 months pregnant, but the child in her womb may not be saved. I have done some preliminary emergency measures. Now we are just waiting for 120. Old Mrs. Shengguan broke down crying, it's good as long as she's fine. It's good as long as she's fine. Old Mrs. Zhao didn't dare to approach, she could only watch from afar, unable to hear clearly what they were saying. Amitabha Buddha, please bless Shengguan Furong to be safe. Otherwise, our Shenbao will be ruined, Mrs. Zhao prayed, hands clasped. Soon, the sound of the 120 ambulance echoed in the air. Everyone followed the ambulance to the hospital. A crowd of people waited outside the operating room. After a while, the light in the operating room went off. Old Mrs. Shengguan and Shengguan Dehui immediately approached, Doctor, how is my sister, daughter? The doctor removed his mask and smiled, fortunately, you did first aid before sending her to the hospital. The patient is now in very good condition and there is no life-threatening danger. However, the baby could not be saved. Also, her lower leg is fractured and needs to stay in the hospital for a while. It doesn't matter the child is not saved, as long as the person is fine. As long as the person is fine. Hearing the doctor's words, old Mrs. Shengguan showed a little smile. Thank you, Yang. Old Mrs. Shengguan walked over and embraced Ni Yang. If it were not for Ni Yang who caught Shengguan Furong and reduced half of the force of fall, Shengguan Furong might not have been so lucky tonight. Knowing that Shengguan Furong was okay, everyone heaved a sigh of relief. Shengguan Dehui said, Dia, take mom and the kids home. I can handle things here with Furong. Ni Tsuhua said, you and mom go home. Ni Yang squinted, from what you've said, Lin Fong indeed doesn't seem like good news. The two sisters chatted late into the night, but woke early the next morning. The aroma of food was already wafting from downstairs. Breakfast was prepared by Enai. Everyone, eat quickly. After breakfast, we're going to the hospital to see your aunt. Zhao Ziqing ate heartily, slurping the noodles noisily. Zhao Zijuan said uneasily, "Aunt, what happened to my mom?" They were asleep throughout the night and had no idea what had transpired. Enai smiled, "Your mom is fine, she just wasn't feeling well. She's in the hospital right now. Well, go see her after breakfast." "Is my mom really okay?" Zhao Zijuan asked. "She really is." Enai patted his head, "Hurry and eat." Zhao Ziqing finished her meal before Zhao Zijuan and said to Enai, "Aunt, I don't want to go to the hospital. Can I go home instead? Today is the first day of the new year, and Dad said he would take me to Aunt Lin Fang's house to pay a New Year visit." The smile on Enai Hua's face turned rigid. Shengguan Dehui banged his chopsticks on the table, "Don't mention Lin Fang's name again." The air grew quiet. Zhao Ziqing was frightened into tears. All right, let's not scare the child during the holiday." Enai squatted down to comfort Zhao Ziqing. After breakfast, the family, carrying a thermos, went to the hospital to visit Shengguan Furong. When they arrived, Madame Shengguan was just coming out of the ward with a water bottle. "Why are you here so early? Have you eaten yet?" "I was just about to get some hot water from the boiler room." Shengguan Dehui asked, "Mother, has Furong woken up?" "She has." Madame Shengguan nodded. Shengguan Dehui glanced inside. "Has anyone from the Zhao family arrived yet?" Source: Web novel. Com, updated on Envgo. Co. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know to report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 711, Retribution _1 Lady Shengguan shook her head. From last night until now, no one from the Zhao family has shown their face. Hearing that, Shengguan Dehui's face was covered with a layer of anger. Enai took the water bottle from Lady Shengguan's hand. "Mom, I'll go fetch water, you go in and eat." Lady Shengguan nodded. They all went into the ward together. Shengguan Furong was sitting at the head of the bed. Her pale face lacked any color. Zhao Zijuan rushed over instantly. "Mom." "Zijuan." Zhao Ziqing stood by the side. She didn't like her mother. Because her mother never took care of her or looked after her. She liked her grandmother, her father, her brother, and Aunt Lin Fang. "Mom, you are okay, right?" Worry flickered in Zhao Zijuan's eyes. "Mom is okay." Shengguan Furong shook her head. Shengguan Dehui sat on the sofa without saying a word. Enai Yang set the thermos on the coffee table and scooped out a bowl of chicken soup for Shengguan Furong. "Auntie, drink soup." "Thank you, Yang Yang." Zhao Zijuan took the chicken soup. "Mom, let me feed you." "All right," Shengguan Furong nodded. Zhao Zijuan carefully fed Shengguan Furong spoonfuls of chicken soup. The chicken soup contained Chinese medicine and tasted slightly bitter. As she drank, Shengguan Furong's eyes grew red. Only through a near-death experience did she come to realize. On this earth, nothing is as precious as life and familial love. The mood was slightly somber. After finishing the chicken soup, Shengguan Furong looked at Shengguan Dehui, who was sitting on the sofa. "Brother, I'm sorry. Do you realize your mistake?" Shengguan Dehui looked up. "I do," Shengguan Furong nodded. "I will live well from now on, and won't do anything foolish." Shengguan Dehui continued, "Do you realize that it's not just Zhao Shen's fault, but you also made a mistake?" "Yes." Enai Yang stood up at the right moment. "Brother, Sister Xiaoxi, let's take Zijuan and Ziqing out for a walk. It's too stuffy in here." The grudges and disputes amongst the adults didn't do well for the children to hear. It wasn't good for their growth. Okay. Shengguan Shi immediately responded. Shengguan Su carried little Ni Yun, while Ni Yang and Shengguan Shi, together with Zhao Zijuan and Zhao Ziqing, left the room. After the children left, the atmosphere in the ward became oppressive. Shengguan Dehui spoke silently. Your domineering, unreasonable behavior and extremism have not only harmed yourself, but also almost harmed the two kids. If it weren't for Yang last night, had you jumped down with the two kids, do you know what the consequences would be? Lady Shengguan sighed. Shengguan Furong lowered her head, tears falling from her eyes. What Shengguan Dehui said was true. In this marriage, it wasn't just Zhao Shen's mistake, she also made mistakes. It was fortunate that last night she did not jump down with the two children. Zhao Zijuan wiped his tears, turned back to look at Shengguan Furong. Mom, can I still see Ziqing in the future? You can. Shengguan Furong nodded. Brother, Zhao Ziqing pulled at Zhao Zijuan's sleeve, I want to be with you. Let's go home together. The bond between these two siblings was really strong, they grew up together and could never bear to part with one another. This sudden separation caused Zhao Ziqing to break down in tears. Ziqing, be good, don't cry. Zhao Zijuan choked back a sob, and forced a smile. I'll visit you when Mom gets discharged. I don't want to be separated from you, brother. Zhao Ziqing held on to Zhao Zijuan tightly. Madame Shengguan also broke down in tears. Furong, is this divorce absolutely necessary? She was pained for the children. Once Lin Fong enters the Zhao family, it is predictable that Zhao Ziqing's days won't be pleasant. Both young siblings, one without a father, the other without a mother, the divorce is necessary. Shengguan Furong held back her tears. Madame Shengguan sighed, how tragic. To avoid prolonged pain, Shengguan Dehui swiftly picked up Zhao Ziqing and moved forward. Zhao Ziqing cried and struggled, Uncle, let me go. I want my brother. Brother. Zhao Zijuan watched Zhao Ziqing. Ziqing, you must listen to Dad and Grandmother at home, brother. Zhao Ziqing's crying gradually faded in the distance. Zhao Zijuan wiped his tears, turned back to look at Shengguan Furong, and smiled, Mom, I'm okay. Good child. Good child. Madame Shengguan couldn't help but pulled Zhao Zijuan into her arms. Source, web novel. Com, updated on Envgo. Co. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know to report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 715, Retribution_5. Now she was still inquiring about the whereabouts of Zhao Shen. Old lady, you should know about my temper. If I had really acted ruthlessly, he wouldn't have the strength to escape. Shengguan Dehui may have been angry last night, but he hadn't been harsh. Madame Shengguan stepped in at the right moment. All right, Ziqing's grandmother, Furong needs to rest now. You should go back. When Zhao Shen recovers from his injury, then come over. Evading certain matters just won't do. Issues that need to be resolved still have to be resolved. Old Madame Zhao got up from the chair. If that's the case, then I'll leave first. Zijuan, would you like to come home with your grandmother? No, Zhao Zijuan shook his head. Grandma, you go ahead first. Zijuan, your little sister has been crying at home. She says that if you don't go back, she won't stop crying. Old Madame Zhao continued, "You're a good big brother, can you bear to let Ziqing cry at home? Zhao Zijuan must not stay at the Shengguans. If the Shengguan family were to sow discord from within, bad-mouthing the Zhao family, and then Zhao Zijuan no longer recognized her as his grandmother or Zhao Shen as his father, what should she do then? Children are like blank sheets of paper, they will do as adults tell them to. Zhao Zijuan is the eldest grandson of the Zhao family, she couldn't let outsiders corrupt him." Zhao Zijuan continued, "My little sister is very obedient, as long as you console her a bit more, she won't cry. Grandma, you go back first. Zijuan, don't you want your grandma anymore?" Old Madame Zhao's eyes suddenly reddened, "I am your real grandmother, Zijuan, don't you want your grandmother anymore?" "No, Grandma, it's not that I don't want you, I just want to stay with Mom." "Grandma, you've always been my grandma." Zhao Zijuan became flustered. He didn't understand why it had come to this. Ni Yang came over and said, "Grandma Zhao, since Zijuan doesn't want to go back with you right now, you should go first. Don't worry, nobody here will bully Zijuan. This is scaring him." Ni Yang's voice was light and gentle, pleasing to the ear. Old Madame Zhao sighed and finally let go of Zhao Zijuan, "Then Grandma will go home first." Zhao Zijuan nodded. After old Madame Zhao left, Zhao Zijuan ran to Shengguan Furong, "Mom, don't worry, I'm not going anywhere, I will stay here with you." "Good." Shengguan Furong nodded. After old lady Zhao left the hospital, she felt uneasy no matter what. The longer Zhao Zijuan stayed at Shengguan's, the more likely he was to be brainwashed by the Shengguan family and might end up not recognizing anyone. It seems she must quickly get in touch with Zhao Shen. After several transfers, old Madame Zhao finally met Zhao Shen in an inn. Lin Fang was also there. "Mom, why are you here?" Zhao Shen quickly put down his bowl and chopsticks. Chapter 717, Retribution _7 Zhao Shen was stunned. After the punch, Shengguan Dihui's face was red and swollen. He spat out a mouthful of blood on the ground, "This punch, I owe it to your Zhao family. As the elder brother, I failed to manage my little sister properly, letting her do as she pleased and cause such a major disaster." Zhao Shen's infidelity was unforgivable. Shengguan Furong's arrogance fueled by favoritism too was unforgivable. Both of them were equally to blame. "Brother," Zhao Shen choked out, "I was wrong, I really was." Shengguan Dihue licked the back of his teeth, "From now on, our two families will have no relation whatsoever. You should go back to addressing me as Mr. Shengguan." After finishing, Shengguan Dihue pulled open the door and left without looking back. Zhao Shen stood in place, crying bitterly. Only after a while did he walk out of the room. Upon exiting, he discovered that Shengguan Dihue had not gone to the ward but was on the corridor, smoking a cigarette. It had been more than 20 years since he had seen Shengguan Dihue smoke. "Go in." Shengguan Dihue extinguished the butt of the cigarette. Both their faces were red and swollen, an embarrassing sight that startled both Grandma Shengguan and Ni Tsuehua. Were these two men involved in a fight? "Dihue, you?" Shengguan Dihue waved his hand, "It's okay, I knocked myself." What coincidence, the two of them bumped into something simultaneously. Zhao Shen signed his name on the divorce agreement and stamped his seal. At this real moment of relief, he should feel relaxed, but for some reason, his mood was surprisingly heavy, very heavy. Zhao Ziqing walked over and carefully tugged at Zhao Shen's clothes. "Dad, you won't abandon me, right?" "No." Zhao Shen shook his head, handing over the signed divorce papers to Shengguan Furong. As he was leaving, Zhao Shen said, "Ziqing, go hug your mother." "No." Ziqing shook her head. She didn't like her mother, it was her mother who separated her and her brother. She would never forgive her mother in this lifetime. She liked Auntie Lin Fang. Let's go. Shengguan Dehui looked at everyone else, then said, Ziqing, say goodbye to your grandmother, your mother, and your uncles. Goodbye. Zhao Ziqing waved her hand. Little sister, tears welled up in Zhao Zijin's eyes. Brother. Just as Zhao Ziqing was about to reach for Zijin's hand, Zhao Shen scooped her up. Ziqing, it's time for us to go home. Zhao Ziqing started crying and complaining. To prevent their mother from getting upset, Zhao Zijuan held back his tears. Shengguan Furong couldn't bear to see them this way. Zijuan, go see off your little sister. Zhao Zijuan sprinted out to chase after the departing black car, chasing it far and far away. Little sister, don't worry, I will come to see you. I promise. At the Zhao's family house. From the moment Zhao Shen left, Grandma Zhao had been standing at the gate, watching for Zhao Shen's return. At last, she noticed the familiar car arriving. Grandma Zhao quickly rushed to greet it, Zijuan. But the ones who got out of the car were Zhao Shen and Zhao Ziqing. Zhao Zijuan was nowhere to be seen. Grandma Zhao's face turned ashen. Where's Zijuan? Zhao Shen reluctantly replied, Zijuan chose to go with Furong. What? Grandma Zhao raised her cane, unfilial son. How could you let the bloodline of our Zhao family just slip away? Weren't you supposed to switch Ziqing and Zijuan? You unfilial son. After all, Shengguan Furong can still bear more children, but the Zhao family only has one eldest grandson. Zhao Ziqing, looking at Grandma Zhao, felt that her grandmother was a frightening stranger. Why didn't her grandmother want her? Zhao Shen sighed, Mother, Ziqing is also the flesh and blood of our Zhao family. Can they be the same? Go and bring Zijuan back immediately. Bring my great-grandson back. I want my great-grandson. Grandma Zhao cried and complained. Suddenly, she blacked out and collapsed. Zhao Shen was frightened. Mom. The doctor soon arrived. After some resuscitation, he sighed, the old lady has suffered a stroke as a result of acute anger. There is no immediate danger to her life now, but she will have after effects. What kind of after effects? Zhao Shen questioned impatiently. The doctor casually adjusted his glasses. She will be bedridden due to hemiplegia and will also have difficulty speaking. Source, web novel. Com, updated on Envgo. Co. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know to report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 720, Ni Yang takes action. _3. Lady Zhao is now unable to speak. Even if the maid treats her badly, she can't voice it. In fact, Zhao Shen is quite concerned. Zhao Shen trusts Lin Fang more than other maids. Zhao Shen nodded with a smile, then he'll have to trouble you. It's not troublesome. Lin Fang shook her head, this is what I should do as a daughter-in-law. I also have experience from taking care of my mother-in-law. Lady Chang is now also living at Zhao's house. Her condition is similar to Lady Zhao's, paralyzed and mute. Zhao Shen said emotionally, Lin Fang, to be able to marry you, is my good fortune for 3 lifetimes. Lin Fang's face flushed. Then that night, to show that she really had experience and devotion, Lin Fang changed Lady Zhao's diapers and cleaned her in front of Zhao Shen. There was a particular smell in the room, but Lin Fang's face was full of smiles. In the twinkling of an eye, a month passed, during which Lin Fang took care of Lady Zhao. She was feeling more and more uncomfortable. After all, which wealthy lady needs to personally take care of the elderly? Zhao Shun was very busy, becoming unavailable at home after the third day of their marriage. He didn't even see her hardship. When he occasionally visited, she had to try her best to please Zhao Shun. What is this? Why was it that when Shengguan Furong was here, everyone in the Zhao family treated her like a princess, but when she arrived, she had to be the maid, serving this and that? Does she deserve to be Zhao's old maid? This cannot go on. She came to the Zhao's home to enjoy a life of leisure. Lin Fang suppressed her frustrations, and with a bowl of chicken soup, she opened the door to Lady Zhao's bedroom. "Mom." Hearing Lin Fang's voice, Lady Zhao turned to look at her. Over the past few days, Lin Fang had been serving her diligently, and Lady Zhao was very satisfied with this new daughter-in-law. "Mom, drink soup." Lin Fang scooped up a spoonful of chicken soup to feed Lady Zhao. It had a strong scent of Chinese medicine. Lady Zhao turned her head, not wanting to drink. Now she couldn't speak and could only express herself through actions. If it was a few days ago, Lin Fang would definitely kindly say, "Mom, if you don't want to drink it, I'll get you another bowl." But Lin Fang did not have such patience today. Thinking of this, Lin Fang slammed the chicken soup on the table, expressing angrily, "Drink it or don't." Lady Zhao widened her eyes in disbelief looking at Lin Fang. Was she hallucinating? Lin Fang didn't care and turned to walk out the door. Lady Zhao lay in bed, her mouth open, making sounds, her body twisting. What's wrong now? Lin Fang turned back to look at Lady Zhao. Because of a stroke, Lady Zhao was now twisted and could not even make regular expressions, only able to stare at Lin Fang. Just as Lin Fang got to the bed, she smelled a foul odor. Defecation again. Over the past few days, Lin Fang had cleaned up Lady Zhao's feces and urine countless times, and at this moment, smelling this made her feel sick enough to vomit. Lady Zhao could do nothing but watch Lin Fang shed tears. After venting her frustrations, Lin Fang headed downstairs. Zhao Ziqing and Chang Yu were just coming in. "Mom! Sister is taking my things." Zhao Ziqing ran over to complain. "What's yours?" "That piano is a gift from Dad to me," Chang Yu said angrily. Becoming the Zhao family's daughter seems glamorous on the surface, but in reality, she's been taking hits from all sides. She's obviously much older than Zhao Ziqing, yet Zhao Ziqing bosses her around. Such dominance at such a young age. A child born of a mother, yet not educated by one. "That's my dad. This is my house. You have no shame." Zhao Ziqing continued, "Mom, you criticize big sister. She's the older one, she should give in to the younger one. Lin Fang treats her very well, almost indulging her in every way. Even if it's her fault, Lin Fang would stand by her side. Who'd you say has no shame?" Lin Fang looked at Zhao Ziqing with a smile on her face. Zhao Ziqing thought Lin Fang was going to support her, pointing at Chang Yu and said, "She has no shame. Dad is my dad, that piano Dad bought is mine." Lin Fang's face stiffened, "Who has no shame? Say it again." Even Chang Yu was stunned. "Mom." Lin Fang said, "Xiao Yu, from today you do not need to give in to her." Zhao Ziqing's eyes welled up, she began to cry loudly, "Dad. Whoa, shut up." Lin Fang no longer wanted to pretend. Source, web novel. Com, updated on Envgo. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know to report so we can fix it as soon as possible.